One love. One. Yeah, all right. It's his birthday. Three little birds. Greetings, everybody. Greetings. And welcome to Real Talk with Simply Deez on Tuesday, the 6th of February. Woo! We are back 2024. January had to have a little rest, a little time out. It was required. Today is Tuesday, but I made Saturday soup. If you're getting it, you're getting it. You know I can chat and I want to chat, but the producer will come on in a moment and tell me how packed I've made today's show. I'm making up for January. So let's kick off. My first guest, I've known this young lady for a little while now. Certainly part of the Simply Deez crew. Whoa, there she is. Greetings, my beauty, greetings, and welcome to, I know it says on the screen, Jeanette Barrett, but many will know you by so many different aliases. And probably saying like, she's an imposter, she's not Jeanette Barrett, she's Lyricist B, she's Miss Merlene, she's... Thank you so much for taking time out and coming on the show, darling. All of those, let me just quickly say to all of those that are currently watching, we are streaming live, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube. Shelley will confirm, because I do believe we may be on Instagram also as well. And so we are beaming out there to the masses. Obviously, once we're online, that makes us global. So when we're putting messages out there, it's to the universe, and you know that. So I'm going to pass over to you. We need to know who you are. Who are you?
Okay, greetings, everyone. Well, my name is Jeanette Barrett, as you see on the screen, but I also go by the name of Empress Lyricist B and also Janetti Machete. Okay, two personalities that shine in different genres. My background, my working background is nursing care. As a retired psychiatric nurse, I wanted to do mental ill health care in a community, my community, because I felt that I wasn't completing a job when I was working in a hospital. It was like I was doing an elastoplast band-aid on people and sending them back out, and I knew they weren't ready to be in the community. So I thought, okay, I'll go in the community and meet their needs where they are at. And since doing that, I realized that I wanted to go in the community and do that, because really who I was supposed to have been addressing was myself. I was doing it with other people so much to cover my own flaws and my own mental health issues. When I got to the age of 50, I realized, okay, I'm almost counseling these people all the while where all their issues started from. And then it dawned on me, where did my issues start from? And my issues started from the age of 2. Long story. I culminated them all together and started to write my autobiographical trilogy. So 3 books in a large manuscript. I had to dissect them for different ages throughout my life. And I went on from there, because just writing it and it being 2D in a book didn't seem enough. Everything in my life to do with mental health always seemed to be unfinished, like working in a hospital with people. It seemed to be unfinished. So I looked at my books and I looked at my books and I looked at my books and I said I wanted them to come to life. So in order for my books to come to life, I started to take snippets out of my books and create plays. Now that part of myself is Lyricist B. And Lyricist B can come out with so much one-liners. She's a fluent writer and speaker. She can joke. She can do all of these things. Me, as I am now, Jeanette Barrett, is an in-betweener. I'm not introvert and I'm not extrovert. I'm sort of plateau, almost boring without my other two personalities. When the three of them get together, mm, 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 well, and then the Saturday soup,
Fire!
the holy
Everybody,
hot, the
fire
holy
and
hot
brimstone.
ingredients. Yes. And that who's just spoke there is Janetti Machete, the extrovert, the woman with the power, the woman who will stand up to anybody for anything, the advocate in me. And I do actually believe that everyone's got those three personalities within them, but it's the way they want to carry themselves and how they want to bring those out, because we all have different personalities when we're at work, when we're with friends, and when we're with family.
So true.
Yeah, thanks, Dee. And if you could use all those three personalities and bring them out and manage them well, then you'll go far in life. You know, you will get that work-life balance. And that's what I have had since I was 50, a real good work-life balance. I'm not going and doing my work and thinking, oh, I don't want to go to work. Because now with my mental health work in the community, I bring projects together. I do workshops with singing and dancing and doing drama and all of that. And then I realized that, why don't I ask some of these people that I've been talking with in the community to come and do these plays with me instead of just doing my one-woman shows? And the plays have grown and they've grown and they've grown. And it's really assisted other people bring out their lyricist B and their Janetti Machete. And I'm really enjoying the journey with them. So that's really part of my background, who I am, who three of me are. My secular career as a mental health advocate and nurse and carer in the community, and also my passion in life, which is doing theatre work, singer-songwriting, speaking for other people, doing wedding speeches, funerals, and all sorts of things like that. So yes, that's a background of me.
So people watching are going like,
yeah.
And I'm telling you now, viewers, she's not even made a scratch in what she does. She's told us, I know you think you told us something, but she hasn't. There is just so much. It's a whole show on its own. Let's be honest, Janetti, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we did the 3 hours, we'd still have to be doing a part 2, part 3, part.
Actually, yeah. And I'm not blowing. Yeah, I'm not blowing my trumpet on that, because I really share my skills. I really share my skills. I write for other people, and I'm dyslexic, everyone. So don't let things like that stop you, because you can do right.
Can I stop you?
Yeah.
1 second. Only because you're packing so much in, which is good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's some key things. You've said all what you've said, and I said you haven't even made a scratch. The fact that you sort of said you turned 50 and all these different, because a lot of people, when they get into a certain age and that, they think it's all over.
Yeah.
It's all over. It's downhill. I'm not good for nothing. I can't this, I can't that, I can't the other. Now, you just said you are dyslexic. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Can I ask, when did you find that out?
I found that out when I was studying my nursing in London. So we're going back 40 years now. And in that time, the process of knowing whether you were dyslexic or not, they didn't even use that word to touch. They sort of used learning difficulties and things like that. It was later on where the word of autism came out, and, you know, dyslexia came out, but it was other words were used in place. And I was very good with practical stuff, and I could say what was needed. I could even draw the diagrams, and I knew what I needed to do and what I didn't need to do. But to do the exams and to put what was in here down on paper, and all of those different nursing words, what look the same, sound the same, but you could kill somebody if you got it wrong. You know, and all those little measurements and all the veins and arteries and all the different, I could only demonstrate and draw. So a lot of my exam that says, okay, look, I can't write it down, but could I do it orally? Could I tell you? Could it be putting a dictaphone back then, dictaphone, you know, and it given and someone type it out for me? So there was lots of different ways. And said, but you know, you really got a difficulty here. But then, of course, everything back then wasn't put in a computer. You had to put it down on paper. You had to write it down. You had to do your reports on paper. There was files and files on paper. Then you had to, then a secretary or PA, medical PA, would put what you wrote down in your rounds or anything into the computer afterwards. So if I could not make it legible, I was in trouble. Now, I started to joke around and I said, what doctor? When you look at the prescription and you see that writing, do you understand? I started to joke around. So my theatre thing about came and covered me. You know, my big personality got me through even back then. And I was able to sail through my exams with sheer persistence and determination and graphics and spoken word. And I think because how frightened I was going through all of that and realized that the gift of the gab and my personality can get me through that. Whenever there was something that I was stumbling over, I would use that part of myself. And it always came through for me. And if something was really difficult, painful, I would put it in poetry form or any other way to make it come across, to make it easier to swallow. So that's where the poetry and then the songwriting started to come in. Because, you know, with music and song, it's a lot based on your feelings, you know. So I started to use that. And it's a combination of all those things that I've been through in life that has got me to where I am today to create the kind of plays that I do. And also find out the flaws of my cast as well and see their strengths and bring out what I wanted to highlight in them, what I believed was in them. And I would cast them as a character that could bring that out in them and let them shine so that they themselves, their self-esteem could be elevated as well.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
You are amazing. No, seriously, because I know there's just so much. During your school days, sort of like high school and maybe probably college even, and obviously till the time that you actually found out that you were dyslexic, how kind of like, what was the struggle like in school for you?
Well, I don't believe I would have had a struggle if my life wasn't surrounded with my autistic sister, because I shared a school year with, excuse me, my autistic sister who's 11 months younger than me. So back in when I first went to school, which was just touching 1969, when I first went to school and that, I could see she was going to be bullied straight away. And the words were spastic and dunce and those kind of words were used. Excuse me, everyone, for using them, but that's the fact. And this is real talk. So I'm going to use the words that were used then.
Yeah.
So I found that I had to fight for her. When she was in a panic mode, tunnel vision and too much noise in the class and the teacher telling you this and telling you that. There wasn't classroom assistance back then, everybody. You know, you had your wooden desk and you hide behind the desk if you couldn't get something wrong, and it was the blackboard and the chalk being thrown at you or the eraser. So she used to panic, and they used to knock on my classroom door to come and look after my sister in the medical room. So a lot of my learning was missed. And I was in the medical room with my sister, keeping her calm, playing with the box of toys and dressing up costumes and things. So I missed a lot of class. And then when I wanted to catch up, when I used to say to the teacher, could I catch up during the playtime and stuff? No, I couldn't do that. The teacher had to do marking. I was in the way. I was asking questions upon questions upon questions. What's this? What's that? What did I miss? I was thirsty to learn and I wanted to learn. But then I had to go out in the playground. And when I went out in the playground, that's when I was fighting people for bullying my sister. And that went all the way through school because she's in the same year as me. So when I should have learned, I couldn't learn. So everything was catch up. And I had siblings who were older. And they came home and they were wrapping their books with the wallpaper and doing their thing. I wanted to join in, but I didn't get the homework. I didn't understand. And I was in their way because they were thirsty to learn and they wanted to do their homework and they wanted to do their thing. They didn't need me asking questions with things that they've done before. I was boring. So I was pushed to one side, back to their sibling also, my sister, to look after my sister. So it was happening at home and in school. I had to find ways of learning things myself by complete observation, leaning over shoulders, listening to conversations, some conversations I shouldn't have listened to. So I think my brain tweaked so much on having to listen and learn the best way I could. I developed an acute memory, because that was how I could get through. Because I didn't know how to write things down properly at that time. So the only way I could get through things was to store what I learned or heard and then repeat in the classroom. So I would be putting my hand up. I know this, I know that. But you look at my textbook. You look at my textbook. And nothing in there said I learned anything apart from lots of doodling, lots of pictures to describe what was in my brain. I would put it in picture form so I would know that meant that and that meant that and that meant that. I knew what it meant. The teachers didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna get you back. I want you back where you've not got work and whatever else going on, and we're gonna have a deep conversation. Because I know you've been on the show before, but there's just, as I sort of said, you could take up the whole year if I'm honest with you. There's so much. There's so much. As you can see, the brilliant producer Shelley across that screen there, I see something's happening in June. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Your accent is not a local accent here in Bedfordshire. That accent it sounds Brummy to me.
It's a Birmingham. Yes, it's a Birmingham accent.
So hang on a minute. You telling me that after all this time you're doing something in Luton? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, finally it's happening. And it is thanks to you, because when I was doing a gig, what you went to as well, before, you invited me to come over and see this hat factory.
Yes.
And I came over, I took my time out, I came over, says that there's no way I'm going to be in Luton and not see Super D and the crew and see what's going on, because I'm always missing it. I'm always seeing all of the flyers and all the information going up, all of the arts and crafts going on down there. And yeah, I'm going to say it. I've been jealous. There's nothing wrong with being jealous. I have. Because you're all together, and there's me up Brum, up the motorway, far away, on my own lonesome, So this is okay. I'm going to take this opportunity. And you showed me that. I took some pictures of it. And at the back of my mind, I kept on manifesting, I'm going to have a show there someday. I didn't know when it was going to be, and I didn't know it would be so soon, but I wanted it to be there. So all of you guys can be part of it. I can be again part of the Life in a Lockdown crew properly. It should have been the limb at the end of the tree. I could be part of the trunk, part of the bark, part
Never.
of the
part is part. Whatever part it is, we're gonna take it.
Yes.
We're embracing it. Because sometimes you don't see people all the while and all that, but the love is still there, and it's so important that we all know that. So, what are you bringing to Luton?
I'm bringing the musical version of Melina Pearl. Now, Melina Pearl Merle, slight change of name. She's a woman that actually boarded as a passenger on the HMT Windrush ship. This, my people, listeners, viewers, is a true enough account of this woman. Okay. And I had the privilege with her family of assisting her in her later days of health. Okay. The family gave me their blessing to turn her story into some sort of play. That doesn't happen often with us people. Usually the mouth is shut, tight-lipped. They go to the grave with their story. But I don't know whether it was the fact that when I was nursing her, I kept on telling her, because at that time I was telling her about my books and what I was doing, my books in different plays was doing. My books was deep on a lot of childhood trauma. I revealed to her lots of things while I was nursing her, because it was intricate nursing. And as a proud Black woman, elderly Black woman, when you're doing intricate, intimate nursing care, you have to find something to talk about. Trust me, to cover the embarrassment of the patient. So I talked about anything and everything, and it got deeper and deeper. And then before I knew it, I was talking about my own traumas, losing my mother and father at a very young age 19. And she was like, oh, Lord have mercy. So who bring you up? I said, I brought up myself. No, I didn't bring up myself. I dragged myself up. And then it just got more and more deep. And she would talk about her child. And she says, even if you drag yourself up, you're still lucky because you're there in England, and England had this, and you have free health care, and you have money come to you. If you no work, you have money come to you. When me come here, me did only have it. And I was thinking, wow, this is such a rich story. I want to capture it, but don't forget, everybody, as I said before, sharp memory. So every time I went into the kitchen to do something for her, little sweet potato pudding or whatever, because she never eat nothing ordinary. So I would scribble down different things that she was telling me. And after a shift, and I would go home and I would look back on it and think, my God, this is amazing. This is blowing my mind. But when she really revealed some deep stuff to me was when I told her that my father was born in 1909, and she just couldn't believe it. Then I had to tell her my age because she thought I was picnic. When I told her my age, she realized that she could tell me some things because I wasn't a chick or child. She started to tell me things on a level. And when I told her about my father's history and that his grandmother was a slave, she just went into it all, because she realized that she was born after my father. She was born 1927 and my father was born 1909. And I was hearing stories from my papa and was growing up that way. So she thinks to herself, well, you must be able to handle things. I had to tell her, yes, I can. So yeah, it's amazing. And every time the family came round, or when we done a night shift, and I had to have the family as well because of the certain things to do, you need 4 sets of hands really. Mm-hmm. The family always thought she was so much brighter. The skin looked good, the hair comb up nice. She talk how she eat the cornmeal. I mean, do the cornmeal porridge good. I mean, do the and the family was so happy, and they could go and do what they needed to do without anything in their head saying what's going on with mom, what's going on with grandma, and that kind of thing. So when I gathered everything together and I told the family that, look, your mom, your grandma has told me a lot of things, and I don't know whether you all know all of this or whether she's just revealed it to me, but it's such a story. And it would be nice if you started to sit down and just not just do the care, but really sit and talk with your mom, with your grandma, because I think she's got a lot to share. And I wouldn't want to think that she passed away and she's not told you these things, because it shouldn't be my ears that's heard it first. It should really be yours, And I did say to her, I says, look, you really should be sharing this with your family and everything. She said, me have everything in my grip. Anything them need to know, they in my grip. And me have the key for me neck. When me dead and gone, them can know all these things. Everything in the grip. When me dead and gone, they take the key round me neck and just open it and everything in there. You know what? No big coffee. Me just want a straw casket.
I'm stopping you. I'm stopping. And the reason I'm stopping you, people were kind of like, and this is what this is about. It was a case of, I wanted to get you on. We're in February, beginning of Feb. And it's a case of we're planting the seed to those people, whether you're local or not local. The date is out there.
Yeah.
The date is out there. So it is the 28th of June, isn't it? We're going to get you back before the event, Janetti. We're going to get you back. Guess who's waiting in the wings? She's waiting in the wings because she's going to come on and talk about something that she's doing. But Shell, can you bring this young lady on? These two might know each other. This is all Simply Deez massive. So those people out there going like, hang on a minute. And if you haven't got the books, I wonder why. You see this one here? She didn't know you. Come off a mute, V.
Hello. Good evening, Janetti Barrett. How are you?
Hi, V. Hello, Hyacinth. You all right, Hyacinth?
Me all right, sister. Me all right. Me all right.
Good.
So these guys are watching and going like, they're kind of going like this. What the? Not only do these two young ladies know each other, Veronica E. Banks is actually, I do believe, are you playing a part in this play?
Yes, I am.
Look at that.
I am. I'm playing a mature nurse, and her name is Hyacinth, and she does her bit.
D.
Yes.
Veronica E. is playing me as the nurse, and I've given myself the name Hyacinth. And the reason I've given my name, the name Hyacinth, which V probably doesn't realize, is that it's Merle's favorite flowers, the hyacinth, because it will smell so strong. And she said, you only have to have that. You don't need no false air freshener.
Yeah.
Just get the hyacinth. So I adopted it.
It's strong. But it is a lovely smell.
Yeah, but that's the character, which is me.
Excellent.
How excited.
I know.
I'm so excited.
V is literally, she's my next guest. So I just wanted you both to be on screen and for people to kind of see how everything on the show, how the linkage, it's not just randomness, it's the linkage. So Janetti, as I'm sort of saying farewell to you for now, for now, what message do you want to drop? Because this is literally a week after Windrush, isn't it? Windrush is the 22nd of June, and I'm sure everything's busy. And that's the beauty of what I like about this, because there's so many things to go to. So many things to go to. People be like, oh, but it's the following week after that. So if you're not out there, ain't got no excuse. You put it in your diary now. Are tickets on sale as yet?
Yeah.
Ooh, check that out. So tickets are on sale now for this event, guys. There it is. Thanks, Shell. So it's in the Midlands, 21st of June, and it's at the Hat Factory on the 28th of June. And what time is that, Janetti, please?
At yours, it would be 5:30.
5:30. Is that a Saturday or is that a Friday? Or
it's Friday. So
Friday.
Don't you dare go home. Because if you go home, you won't come back out again. Come straight to the Hat Factory. There's a cafe in the Hat Factory.
There certainly is a cafe. It's right by the train station.
Right. The links are very good. So you come, get your coffee and your piece of cake, give to the cafe as well. This is a community thing. Come watch the show, and you can still get back home in time to go to your bed. And get up your Saturday duties.
I've seen it. I think, is this an edited version, this play? Is it edited?
Yeah, what you saw was the nursing part of Hyacinth. And what you would see is the nursing part of Hyacinth and a lot more of the ship scenes. And now it is a musical version. But really and truly, the full story of Melina Pearl starts before she actually gets on the ship, the gathering of the money from all of the family members and all of that before she gets on the ship. So it's actually in 3 parts, but you see in 2 parts because it would be it'd be a 3-hour show. One day I would really like to do that, but I want funding to do that. But it would be fantastic to do the full thing.
Excellent. Excellent. If there's anything else that you need, Janetti, in the meantime, please let me know. You
I
know,
will.
we've got an abundance of shows. Hopefully, because I know you were shouting out for some mail. Do you still need some?
Yes, I
Do
do. I do.
you want to quickly just say that?
Yeah, the thing is, we have a Birmingham crew, and to save with traveling and expenses and everything, because I'm self-funding this. I'm really looking out for 3 male characters and perhaps 1 female character. The female character must be Caucasian, because she needs to play a Polish person, must be Caucasian. And the males can be any skin tone, Caribbean heritage, and age from 18 upwards.
No problem. So we will put that information out there, and let's see what happens. But we will be getting you back, Janette. Thank you so much for your time this evening, and look forward to catching up with you soon, darling.
Okay, thank you. God bless.
All right. Take care, darling. All right. Bye-bye. Right. So for those people that are watching and thinking like, oh, wow, as the lovely Veronica Ebanks, who's on the screen now, will vouch, this is just part of the roller coaster that we've got for you tonight. Just part of the roller coaster. So for those of you that have been watching the show over the years, attend the Simply Deez events, from whether it be International Women's Day to whether it be arts and crafts, the bookcase that we do, to all the different things. This young lady is, one of the key players. She's always there, always supporting. So it is my pleasure to actually have Veronica E, sister, on the show this evening. Oh, greetings, sis. Greetings.
Greetings, yes. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
No problem, darling. The masses out there are going like, hang on a minute, doesn't she do that? Doesn't she do that? Doesn't she do? You'll find all the people that are on, and even yourself, if somebody really peeled back some layers, we're all multifaceted. We all do lots of things, but, oh, I don't do this, I don't do that. But you do that and that and that. So V, you know time is precious. I'm hoping Yvonne gets on tonight, and it would be really great if she flowed in after you, because that would then be, you know, what we're going to be talking about. But can you kind of, I know it's really hard because you wear so many hats, as they say, kind of just tell us a bit about you and what's happening for the second time this year in probably just under 4 weeks.
Right. So as Dee said, and for all the listeners and viewers, I'm Veronica E. Where do I start? So my background is science and education in terms of work. I support organizations, non-profits, quite a few establishments around safeguarding. I deliver training. I also support students in my local college with English, maths, and some other courses. I run a micro business making skincare, and I am also a performer. Now, last year, I published a book, the year before, 2022, I self-published a book entitled The Hysterectomy Chronicle, which I have that somewhere. There. And as a consequence of publishing the book and speaking to people and people coming to me with their experiences of fibroids and hysterectomy and other gynae issues, a conference emerged. I put together a conference where I brought in surgeons, experts around menorrhagia, heavy bleeding, and menopause, and sexual matters after hysterectomy or after gynae surgery, and it was well received. And we are back again this year. You may have seen some of the adverts going out on most of the platforms, the social media platforms, and if you haven't, it's not my fault, it's them. But all the platforms, apart from one, yes.
You mean the tick, the tuck, the tick?
Yeah,
the tuck.
Apart from that one, that one. The adverts and the posts are going out. So you'll see the post, you'll see the e-flyers, and you'll see maybe the videos, some very short, punchy videos about the event. Why? You may be wondering, well, why put an event about gynae issues? Well, why not? And why aren't we talking about gynae issues? Why is there a taboo around talking about gynae issues?
You don't want to be talking about certain place down, V. It's kind of...
Yeah, so we're talking about menopause now. Menopause is being talked about in boardrooms.
Yeah.
Yes, there's even talk of menopause leave and menstrual leave and so on in various sectors. But when it comes to gynecology per se, whether it be endometriosis, adenomyosis, whether it be fibroids and the recovery and the surgery, hysterectomy and treatments, we tend not to really speak openly about these. These are spoken about behind closed doors. And for various reasons. I mean, for some individuals, it could, because hysterectomy may mean, well, okay, I'm now childless because I haven't had any children and I've undergone a hysterectomy, but I am now childless. I don't have the equipment now to deliver my own babies. And for some, in some cultures, that's quite, how can I put it? It's quite impactful.
Yeah.
So you have those kind of intersections, race, culture, the stigma of, you know, not delivering your own children or not having children, the world of work. How many times have some of us been at work and something's probably happened with us in terms of heavy bleeding, for instance? You know, you're gonna have to leave your desk. You're leaving your desk more often than most. Or someone may say to you, can you stay behind and can you just finish that, or can you do that? Well, no, I can't stay behind because I need to get home because I need to go sort myself out. I'm walking with clothes. You know, people are walking with extra clothes and using tons of sanitary protection because they're bleeding heavily and feeling sick and losing days and so on. I mean, we just don't talk about some of this stuff openly, and it affects so many women. All right, so my question is, and what prompted me to actually dive headfirst into this, how do we know, especially women who look like me, how do we know that we are getting parity and equality of care? And what are our outcomes? How do we know that we are being cared for, that we are getting everything we should get and our outcomes match the ideal outcomes post-surgery or post-treatment, or the advice we're being given? Right? Someone said we're more likely to be offered hysterectomy. Why is that? In childbearing years, why? And sometimes when that diagnosis is given, do we really need to have a hysterectomy? Do we need it? So there's lots of things. Okay, let me just share now. So for some of us, we look at our seniors, and I'm gonna be real now. You're driving along, but you know, whether you know or you don't know, you have fibroids. Your bladder is filling up quicker than normal. And I don't know, maybe every 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, you want to wee-wee. You want to go to the toilet, right? You need the bathroom. So you start to plan, well, I'm going out and it's going to take me this amount of time to get there. And I don't want to wet myself. I need to know where all the toilets are. I need to know that I'm going to be okay. Now, I'm going to share that when at the height of my ill health with fibroids, my husband had to stop on the motorway. I remember one night it was pouring down with rain. The poor man's having to pull over in the lay-by to let his grown wife have a wee. I didn't want to pee up myself, the car. You understand? The uterus was so big that it was pressing on my bladder. My bladder would fill really quickly. And as soon as you felt the urge to go, you had to go. You couldn't really hold it. And then on top of that, I'd already had 4 kids. So the poor bladder was under strain. All right.
So whilst all this is going on, V, because I know sort of like, obviously we're linking this all with the conference, and that's why you're doing the conference. I mean, were you speaking to girlfriends and what have you about all of this? So they...
No, you just
So that's
didn't
just
do
you
that.
keeping that to yourself. And
You just, I didn't talk to anyone. And the incontinence of it, where you're literally peeing yourself because you don't have that bladder control. The pressure on the bladder is such that you're having leakage. And who wants to talk about incontinence? Who goes around telling all their friends and acquaintances, oh yeah, I pee myself, or I have issues controlling my bladder, and I'm having to walk with sets of clothing.
wow.
Right? And certain pads to protect. And it just becomes, it affects your mental health. It does affect, or it can impact on your mental health, because you're trying to just carry on as normal, but each month or as each week goes by and you realize this thing isn't going away, so there must be something wrong, especially if you just expect that your stomach will just get big as you get older.
You thought it was normal. Am I right in saying you thought it was normal? You get to a certain age,
your stomach just, as you age, as you matured, your stomach just got big. No one told me about, I didn't know that much about fibroids and all that stuff. No, I didn't. I'd had 4 kids. Everything worked fine. But as my stomach started to get bigger, I just thought, oh, well, it's just maturity. I'm just maturing. But then coupled with the swelling of feet, my feet would swell up. In the summer, my toes would look like small little sausages. Everything started to swell because of the water retention, the pressure on all the vessels, and the return. So everything just got, especially in the summer when it was warm, my feet were swollen. I went up a shoe size. I had to wear bigger shoes and wide fitting shoes because my stomach was distended, my feet were swollen. And honestly, the amount of blood loss, I was always anemic. I was anemic during my pregnancies. I had iron injections. So with all this heavy blood loss, I was constantly tired and constantly falling asleep when I could, and feeling cold at times, feeling really, really cold. But my stomach was hot. My stomach would be hot and I would feel cold. And then one day I was at work. I'm in an open office at my desk. I stood up. It was my time of the month. I was on my period, and I got up and I felt this thing just running down. And when I say running down, I mean literally running down. And I had a female colleague, and I had to just speak to her across from my desk to her desk. And I asked her to come over. She came over and I said, I'm in trouble here. I said, I'm in a bad way. And I told her what happened. And she said, okay, I'll help you. And she got tissues and whatever. And she came with me to the ladies. Just as well, the men weren't there that day or in the vicinity, because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And then everything has to be cleaned up and change of clothing and all of that stuff. It's not nice. It's not nice. And some of us, I'm going to be real, some of us, we've been putting up with this for a long time and we haven't gone anywhere with it. We've kept it to ourselves. Maybe we've whispered it to our sister and our close friends, but we haven't actually gone and done anything about it because maybe we thought it was normal. Stomach's getting bigger because, oh yes, we're now big people, so your belly no must spread out. No, your foot no must swell up because you're getting on. In your 40s, no, everything must swell up and everything must. No, it's something. There's something wrong that you need to go and check. That is not normal. Wearing Tampax or tampon and pad all at the same time. Sometimes imagine, I don't want to say, but imagine you're wearing more than one of certain things and the pad as well. No, that is abnormal. That is just not normal.
Yvonne's just she's just obviously finished her meeting and what have you, and that, so she's going to be jumping on in a second.
Brilliant.
V, the realness, because those people out there, you know, it's like some people are like, oh, none. But I bet you if you spoke to somebody or if you shared this, they'll be like, why didn't you? Because my sister's friend, aunt, is exactly that, and they would love to come. So that is why every time we do something and we say to people to share some things, and the message, it may not be for you, but I guarantee it'll be for somebody that you do know. Is Yvonne in the house? Shell.
Hey, hi Yvonne.
Do you know that young lady, V?
Yes, I do. Yvonne is a lovely lady. Yvonne is going to be one of the speakers at the conference.
More conference people. You see how everything's flowing, everybody? It's all flowing. So Yvonne John, if I may say, on the very first Real Talk show back in 2018, she's going 2018, May 2018. Oh my gosh, that will be 6 years of Real Talk.
Wow.
This young lady that's just joined us, Yvonne John, the very first guest, very first show. So we're honoured. She's been back a few times. The guys going like, I remember her. Yes. So welcome, Yvonne. Welcome. So there's many people out there going like, can't remember what she did. Is she the girl, the lady that did the photos and stuff? Yes, it's the same lady, but there is a because you're not going to say it all now, because obviously we want them to attend the conference. But Via said that you're going to be joining the conference. Do you just want to give us a snip of what you're going to be sharing, the kind of things that you're going to be sharing on the day, please?
Oh, I don't even know it yet.
Comedian, by the way, guys. Yvonne, I told you people are multifaceted, didn't I?
Just to set the scene.
Yes.
Listen, just to set the scene, some women, after hysterectomy or certain treatments, become infertile or can't bear their own children. So, yes. So we want experts in the room, and Yvonne is an expert. So Yvonne will tell you what she's going to be talking about.
I mean, you know, as many people do know, and some people may not know, is I am an activist and public speaker, and I speak around the women of colour's experience around infertility. I've written my book Dreaming of a Life Unlived, and I talk about, in the book, it's my story and a series of other women's stories talking about finding a fulfilling life without children. And I think, you know, it's one thing being infertile, and it's one huge thing being infertile and grieving the loss of motherhood. It's another thing then when you hit menopause, and therefore it's that final blow, because along the road of childlessness, there is, you know, people at different stages, people process it differently. Grief is a crazy experience, you know, anyway, and depending on why you're grieving will add to another layer of that. And, you know, I remember for myself, for example, wanting to try for a child at 40, thinking I don't want to hit menopause and not have tried, because I kind of felt like, and I knew, but not knowing the full extent of it, that if I'd hit menopause and not have tried, I would have really regretted it. But in my mind at that time, if I had tried and hit menopause and it still hadn't happened, it would have been okay, because at least I tried. But it's so much wider, deeper, bigger than that, because there's all the stuff that being a mother is all about that you don't realize until you are here and you start to unpack that grief. Because I quite even question why I wanted to be a mum. I question, was that my voice or their voice? Because I was very ambivalent about motherhood. But when I was in that place, I was never told I'd never have kids. But at 43, being told I had unexplained infertility, realizing in my heart that it wasn't going to happen, that when that grief hits you, and it's almost like you're forced to face it, and not everyone does, and not necessarily straight away, you're forced to face something. And then when you look in that mirror and you start to question if you are able to do that, and that's one of the things I will be talking about, and the difficulties in that process around it. It is vital that we do face our grief, but as again, as I said, I know not everyone can do that, and people do it when they're ready and in the way they are ready and able to do it. Is that when I was able to look in the mirror, I had questions. You know, why did I want to be a mum? Whose voice was it? Whose message was it? And it really made me realize all the things as a woman, so patriarchy, what they put on women, culturally, what is put on us as Black women, religion, what is put on us as Black Christian women, it goes on. So being able to unpack that and see where it comes from really helped me to understand my grief, as well as all the stuff I had in my past, all my shameful stuff, which I will also share about on the day. Is, you know, when I was able to reconcile a lot of these feelings and look at it, I started to understand what this grief is about and what this means for me. I'm also a facilitator of the Reignite Weekend, the Gateway Women Reignite Weekend workshop, where we support women working through the grief of their childlessness or grief of not becoming a mum. So there's many stories I've heard along the way around, you know, there's a lot of commonality and there's a lot of difference, but there are many, many stories, many, many layers to why we haven't had children. And even on that journey, you will still see people sitting in hope, sitting in denial. And hope is a form of denial. So whether we are giving it to ourselves or other people are giving it to us, it can impact on how we grieve, the way we grieve, how we work through this, how we process this. It's not about coming to the end of grief and it's over. It's about being able to live with the grief and being able to, as I heard it described, wrap it around your heart and be okay with the sadness, when actually prior to that, you're just flawed and you can't cope with it. Then you add having a hysterectomy on that. And I had my hysterectomy in 2019. And that was huge for me. And I think it's huge for any woman because it is part of our identity in terms of womanhood. But I found it particularly difficult when I couldn't have children to then having to lose my womb. Because for me, that part of my body, which I resented, was also letting me down and then saying to me, see ya. You know, it didn't work for me and now you're going. And it was really hard to be in that place and let her go. And she is a she for me, but it was hard to do that. So, and then you've got menopause. So, you know, there are so many things to this journey, and it adds to the finality. You know, hysterectomy, there's no hope anymore. It's gone. Menopause, there's no hope anymore. It's gone. You know, and the change in how we're seen because we're, you know, it's a reality that we're older now. We're of an age that we cannot deny anymore. So there's so much wrapped up into it that it does add to the complexity of being a woman, but also being a childless woman.
Wow. Shelley's put on there just a reminder that it's all broken.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and having to say goodbye. Not many women have actually spoken about that aspect of it, where you feel as if you need to say goodbye to this part of you, and we're going to be touching on that at the conference.
Yeah, I think there's so much to our lives, our lived experiences that is not spoken to, and you know, we're always grieving. There's not a day goes by that we're not grieving something, but no one names that. So it's not until someone dies or you've lost something huge that people can go, oh, it's grief. But we're always experiencing grief, but no one's ever talked about it. So we're really crap at actually dealing with grief and working with it and around it and embracing it. And it is a natural part of our lives. But we've never been taught that.
Wow.
No, it's interesting because we get taught about periods and the menstrual cycle. Remember the diagram with the with the curve and the different phases and the hormones. You know, estrogen rises and then progesterone comes in, and then that one wanes, and then that one comes back, and the luteal phase. You know, and then everything starts all over again. We get taught all that, right? Don't we?
But not,
Right. There we go. But nothing else is said. There's
No,
just no.
there's no depth to it.
No.
You know, there's no depth to it, because if I think about, you know, I was hearing some of what you were saying, V, in terms of your periods, your experience you had. Oh my God, I had the crappiest periods.
Yeah.
Flooded. The amount of times I had to leave work because I flooded, or clean up the chair at work
Yes.
and on the train. Oh my goodness, I have so many stories.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah, you
Clean-
sit down and you're mindful. You everything you're examining, you know, looking. Yeah, putting
the
towels on bed, towels on beds when you go, if you go anywhere, and
just
you
stay at a
have.
friend's house, and I'm like, why have you got white sheets and a white towel?
This is the
and,
real
and then you become creative. you become creative.
this is the real talk.
And even with menopause, because you know, one of the things is I didn't realize I was perimenopause. My periods got worse in my 40s, and I didn't realize that until I realized I was perimenopause, and I was like, because then somebody was saying, you probably are menopausal, look at the symptoms. And then I realized, because they did get worse, they were heavy already. I overdosed on painkillers to just be able to cope with the pain, and all it did was numb the pain. If it did relieve the pain, if I didn't overdose, because I had to overlap not to feel pain. So once I started feeling pain, it would take 2 hours or more before that pain would subside once I took painkillers.
Yeah.
Slept because I'm waking up in pain or flooded. So it's this vicious cycle, and I was extremely, especially if I had to travel for work, always anxious, or on holiday at that time, always anxious. It's like your life is pulled by your monthly cycle that no one's ever told you about, because I never heard that it could be this bad.
That's right. That's right. Until you're going through it, but then you never. I think you kind of feel that you're the only one, or you're on your own. And a lot of the time, even in the workplace, a lot of the managers and supervisors tend to be male, or there's a high percentage of male managers. And how confident do you feel to go to your male manager and say, look, I need time off for this, or this has happened, can I go home early? So you're almost you're saying that you're feeling unwell, or you become creative. I've got a really, really bad cramp or bad stomach ache, but you don't go into detail about what's really happening with you. And I just think it's long overdue that we really lifted the lid and kicked these taboos to the side. There was a Japanese study done, I think it was published last year, where they estimated $1.2 billion, the equivalent of $1.2 billion are lost through menstrual and gynae issues. Right? That says, we need to talk about this and get treatment and more research.
It's a lot of things. Also, I was going to pick up on when you were talking about, they teach us about the menstrual cycle. In my experience, they teach us about the menstrual cycle so we don't get pregnant.
So we don't get belly. We don't bring in a belly.
Taught it at school. And the emphasis is about not getting pregnant, not about our bodies.
And that's true.
What we're going through.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's so true. There's so much. And these guys going like, oh my gosh, watching. There's going to be this and so much more on the 2nd of March. And I have the honour, I've been asked, don't ask me why, but she's asked me back again, and I get to host. So you guys are thinking, wow, I'm telling you, I was there last year, and you do not get literally up close and personal with consultants and surgeons, where it's not a case of you get to ask one question and then you've got to keep it brief. You ask what you want to ask. They will go into details and explain, and you ask as many questions. So you can't tell me out there, you're out there and none of this you can relate to, and you wouldn't want to know more. So the details are on the screen. Tickets are available now. Am I right, V?
Yeah, tickets are available now. And you may have seen these flyers around. yeah, or online somewhere. You may have seen the flyers. So definitely get your tickets, come together.
They're only £10. £10.
Yeah, I've kept it.
And
Yeah.
there's no way you're going to get what
No,
you guys
I
are going to
know.
get on the day for £10.
I know.
If you're
I know.
outside of Luton, Yvonne, how much are these people paying for this kind of thing? 40, 50 quid, probably much more, aren't they? The expertise that you're going to have in that room, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
And you know, the surgeons gave their time for free. The speakers are all giving their time for free. No one's getting paid. This is a non-profit affair. This is the ticket price is to pay for the venue. The ticket sale and all of that is to pay for the venue, right? And so on. So yeah, no one's getting paid. We're doing this because we want to do it. And because there is a need.
And there is a need.
There's isolation and loneliness. There's women whose mental health is affected. There's women who need a hand to hold to kind of minimize the confusion and just give some straight answers. Some women are at a crossroads. They've got to make a decision as to what they've got to do, what they want to do with their bodies. Do I go this way or do I go that way? But having the information, having the full complement of information, as much as you can get, will help you to arrive at an informed decision. Make an informed decision about your own health and well-being. Come on, ladies, we deserve better healthcare. We deserve a better quality of life than some of us are living now.
You know, when I think about my experience in the healthcare system, I came to the conclusion that it's not there for black bodies and brown bodies. They're not there for us, and that, they're modelled on the doctors are being taught, the medical school are being taught on Eurocentric models, so they're not appreciating the differences with our bodies and the things we go through, and let alone the fertility stuff. Goodness, that's just on another level for me in terms of if you think about, I'm going into a doctor saying I'm in pain, in excessive pain, it's really difficult to function because of my period, to be told maybe it's because of your age, and then to realize, because of the research I've done, that actually they do believe that we have a higher tolerance to pain. And you can see that in the maternal deaths in women who die in labor. We die 5 times more. We're 5 times more likely to die.
Yes, to die. Yeah, and 5 times more likely. I've got all the papers. I've got all the papers.
Because when black women are being presented in the room and they're in pain, they are not being believed. I presented to my doctor, I am not being believed. So go back to our enslaved times when I don't know how many people have heard of J. Marion Sims. Look at what he did to black bodies.
Black bodies.
Operated on us without anesthesia because he believed we did not feel pain. That's the genetic memory we are both carrying. We have the living, so we're carrying the fact that actually they experimented on our bodies and didn't see us as human, but also as women. Probably boys, because he experimented on boys. He used to do lobotomies on them, young children. So
of course,
they did not believe we experienced pain. So let's cut them, and if they scream, it's because they didn't want to be cut, not because they're hurted. That's the narrative. So therefore, the white lineage have the genetic memory, and they are coming away feeling like we don't feel the pain. We were seen as what were we there for in enslaved times? We were breeders. We were there to increase their profits and their we were commodities. Let alone how they treated the childless women in those times. However, when you look at the fact that we were there to increase their stock, we were seen as hyper-fertile. So when you're going in the system I'm having problems conceiving, they do not believe you. I had to lie to get in front of a fertility consultant. At 42, 43, I had to lie because they never saw me as having a problem. And our fertilities drop at the age of 24, and they drop even further when you hit your 30s. So at 43, my fertility would have been low anyway, but I wasn't trying hard enough. I hadn't been trying long enough. So no, we're not going to do anything about it. Look at,
Well, Yvonne, hold some of your story. Hold that.
I know.
for Saturday, the 2nd of March.
I've even got our next guest who has been waiting for
Right.
waiting for a while, and to like think of, and he's messaged me and he's going like, "Take your time."
Oh. And men, you
He's
are
telling me,
invited along.
and he's telling me,
Yes.
take your, actually, let Shell, if you're
Men
there,
are
darling, bring him
invited.
on, because I need
Wow.
to know. We've got a real mix of people here tonight. Greetings, young man. Greetings. I know
Hello,
you've been
how
in
are
the
you?
rooms, and I'm good, thank you. I'm good. You've been listening, and you hear the sisters them, right? You hear the sisters them, and like, do you know what? As a male now, are you thinking, oh my God, or are you thinking like, well, actually, somebody you might know may be able to relate, and I don't know, what are you thinking? Because you said to me, take your time, Dee, take your time. Because I'm thinking like, you're listening, because this is what we want. It's not just for the women, it's for guys to listen and to understand, because it could be your partner, it could be your mother, it could be, you know, and it's like not understanding. So I don't know.
Well,
What
the
you
point
thinking? Because I know you ain't come on to talk about this, but you're here,
no,
brother.
that's okay. The point that Empress Yvonne was saying is that when you go to approach management, and because you may feel slightly embarrassed because it's a male figure and things like that, that needs to be looked at within the workplace as well. So the approachability and the understanding that yes, people do have symptoms and problems that they need addressing, and it's not that you're going to slope off work because you're just idle. Yeah, most women are very tough and very resolute at what they do, so they'll find a way through it. But if they do approach you and say, "We've got a problem, I need to leave," it should be done discreetly and compassionately. So that's something that needs to be looked at. Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's being able to make that approach in the first place, because I do agree with you. You know, we do need the care and compassion when we do it, because we're embarrassed and it feels shameful. So somebody could even say it in the first place, I think, is a huge thing. So yes, that needs to be compassion.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
It's also that people are not able to say it in the first place, and
Yeah.
that needs to be looked at. Is what are the barriers? I'm sure there are women that wouldn't even tell another woman because of that woman, you know, and how they are.
Exactly.
I've go to the doctors about their menopause, and that female consultant has said, well, I had to deal with it, so you need to as well. So, well, you know, so it's not just a gender thing, but I think it's about looking at those barriers that do stop us from talking and bringing it up.
Definitely. And what would be good is to hear the male, I suppose, the male voice in the room, you know, their take on maybe supporting a partner who is actually going through something like this, or having already gone through the experience. What did they find? How was it for them? Their partner or their wife had a life-changing operation. How did they cope? You know, maybe with children or without. How did they support their partner? How did they support their wife when she was going through that? It'd be interesting to hear a male perspective.
Well, the thing is, it depends on the male as well, because if you're supportive in the initial sense of it, if your partner's going through something, you're going to be supportive either way. It depends on the individual. And also, like, men need to be aware of certain things to do with women with medical issues and things, so they can help them along instead of just shying away from it. Because having your partner there and being a support system, it's going to be their first sort of stop to sort of consult, say, this is happening, what do you think I should do, and things like that. So males need to be a bit more open to listen to it rather than squirming. It all depends on the individual, the male.
Yeah.
Depends on the message you've got.
Yeah.
It depends on the message they got as well, because there's a lot of men that are going to turn around and say, oh, that's women's business, or, you know, and
I don't need to know.
They don't want to hear about it because.
Yeah, I think it was Michelle Wallace said something or put something in.
Michael's actually on the show. He's going to be on the show in a little while.
Michael Wallace. Oh, sorry, I'm wearing the glasses and I'm still reading it wrong.
And he sort of said good. You know, the menopause, the whole of that is
Yes.
for guys to know.
Yes, I
And
need
then
to know
that way
about the
then
menopause.
so when we're doing
too.
events like this, let's just make it clear to everybody out there, it is not just for women.
That's right.
We're encouraging for the men to come along also as well. And it's these kind of things where you can ask your questions and you can gain that knowledge so you can be the support, which is exactly what you've just spoken about. So ladies, so excited. So excited. If there's anybody out there that's listening, and as Veronica said, this is self-funding, nobody's getting paid for anything, but obviously the venue needs to be paid for. Any support that anybody can give, we would truly appreciate that. And support can come in many different ways. It's not always financial. Am I right, V?
That's right. Yeah,
it's not always financial. So please get in touch if there's anybody out there watching, taking part today or anything like that, that would like to support this awesome event. This is the second year, and I'm telling you now, it is just going to grow and grow and grow. Yes, Ruth. It's for everyone. Everybody. For now, I'm going to say thank you so much. You know, I'll be catching up with you really soon. And yeah.
Thank you.
All right, ladies. Thanks, Lee.
Nice to meet you both. Good luck with your event.
Yeah, thank you. Take care, dude.
Thank you.
Bye,
no worries, mate.
Bye.
Well. Got the young man in the house at last. Woo!
Yeah. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you.
Good.
I am fantastic. I am blessed. I am grateful. I don't know what time you joined. I sort of like came on. I said, I know today's Tuesday, but I made Saturday soup. Those that get that, get that.
Very good.
I made that today, even though, yeah, I know it's Tuesday, but I made Saturday soup.
I tell you, I had to come into a different building to like conduct the interview. And Saturday soup on a night like this, it would be welcome.
Oh, bless you, darling. Bless you.
Really good.
Just clearing up. You ain't come on for no interview. You come on for a chat.
Indeed.
We're having a chat. So for those of you that don't know, you can see on there, it says the Duke Sparky Melody. And I'm like, and trust me, I think it may be, what is it, about 7-8 years ago? Maybe?
Yeah, I think
when
it
we
was
met?
2017.
It could well be.
Yeah,
it could well be.
7 years.
So everybody that's on the show, by some way or other, I've met them on my journey. And I was actually hosting the launch for JT Afrique. For those of you that know, Joyce was in the market. She's now in the mall, but she opened up the second unit. And so, you know, she's told me she's got all these different people performing, doing X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, yeah. And then Sparky was performing. So anyway, so we're in the middle of the market now, and I'm kind of like doing my bit. And then he started, and I'm like, I actually brought my head up. I'm like, but wait, he could actually sing. Lord.
Yeah, I remember that as well. I don't know what you thought he was getting, Dee. We're very rehearsed
if you know me, I'm just full of banter. So
no,
I'm thinking, let me see, because I took your details, and he's probably thinking like, yeah. She said I was good, but she ain't contacting me. And I'm sure within a week, because whenever it was, it might have been October, September time. I thought, let me see if I can get him to perform at International Men's Day.
Yes.
And you're like, yeah, I'll do that.
That's exactly as it happened. And this is about like supporting the community as well.
Yeah.
Because when you did ask me, there was no discussion of any financial transactions for both of them. I was willing to give you the time to help support your cause.
Yes, and so appreciate.
Likewise. Because we've all got to help each other, and it's more in this time now than ever. Because you just discussed about funding, where I think it was Yvonne and the other lady,
Yvonne and Veronica, yep.
Right, Veronica was saying that like nobody's being paid for that event that's been put on, and the ticket price is solely just to pay for the venue. So you can see that everything is very tight when it comes down to putting on events, and you'll know this more than anybody else. So support, if it's out there, then it would be welcomed and things. And that's what we've been doing for a long time. And that's why you and I have that relationship where, you know, you can pick up the phone for me if you need me to do something needed to you. I'll be there at a drop of a hat, and you know that. And we've always had it like that since 2017. So it's an absolute pleasure being here, sitting down, talking with you this evening. And I'm so proud of what you're doing. Your platform is growing and growing, and it's just so commendable. You never stopped.
No. And for those people, Veronica, who you just saw on there, she literally is my sister. When I sort of started way back, I'm just going to condense my journey real short and sweet. And I think we spoke the other day, and it was a case of I've always helped in the community, and you know, I love organising, all that sort of stuff. So an organisation is doing whatever they're doing. It's like, how can I help? Whether that's reception, whether that's, I don't know, folding things up or whatever it might be. I'd be like, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. And then, you know, when you're doing stuff for other people and that, then it's a case of like, well, you think you can do it maybe a little differently, or you want to do more. And then it was a case of like my son back in the day, you know, when you're around people.
Yes.
Yeah. And these people are friends.
Indeed.
But you know what? All we did was moan. Moan about anything and everything.
And everything.
We blamed, it's the government fault, it's the school's fault, it's society's fault, it's the council's fault, it's the neighbour's fault, it's a dog's fault.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, hang on a minute. At what point do we take ownership and like, okay, so what can we do? As in, what can we do to bring about change? And I realised that if I want change, I need to be playing a part. I need to be doing my bit.
Agreed.
So that's when I became, as I said, I became a parent governor at the boys' primary school. And then I went to their high school. I loved it. They hated it. They hated it. And Simply Deez, we're actually in our 10th, we're actually in our 10th year.
Excellent.
And
wow.
Veronica, who was just on, has been on this journey with me. Brilliant. And when I had events, I paid for a venue. I ain't got no money. Hopefully my husband's not watching. He's upstairs. He probably is, but hopefully he's not listening to this bit.
He'll catch you on the rerun.
Did it? Shh. He's not listening to this bit. But it was a case of I'm paying for venues, I'm paying for food. I've got 5 people.
Yeah.
That money had to come out of my pocket. I didn't have funding, all that sort of stuff. It came out of my money because just passion. Passion, passion, passion. That's where Veronica is doing what she's doing. And that's where kind of what I'm doing. And along the way, those people that are supposed to be there are there. Mm-hmm. And that's why, do you know what I mean? As you sort of said about the growth, that's why you can sort of see that growth. So those people on are kind of like, they know a little bit about me. They don't know too much about me. They'll find out more. But the reason I've got you on is everyone's like going like, oh, your hubby's listening. That's all right. Don't worry about that, Shell. Yeah. That's Shelley, the producer.
Unless Shelley's husband knows your husband, and then her husband will know your husband.
Oh, for crying out loud. Why? I thought you're supposed to be on my side.
I am on your side, definitely. We can delete it. We can delete it.
This is going out live, remember, to the masses. Money. Good. Shh. Exactly, Shell. Tell him shh. So, indeed. Look. You haven't just landed on the scene. People are going like the Duke Sparky. They've got no idea. Don't get me wrong. There's the masses out there that know who you are and all about you.
Yeah.
Then you're talking about this. Remember, we're online, so we're global. Mm-hmm. So when we got people, the producer will vouch. You've got somebody I'm watching from Malawi. Damn, really? That's Africa. Wow. And my customers always, people are watching. I'm in America. So it's not just local people that watch. So I need to know, we need to know, who are you? Who are you? What do you do?
So I'm the Duke Sparky Melody. So originally I was Sparky Melody. So I had the title, the Duke, bestowed upon me from my forefathers within the business that bear some credibility, a lot of credibility within the industry. Like Lindell Lewis is one of the biggest producers like within the reggae industry. And he was also a Duke. So what happened with my name, the reason why the Duke came in as the title, as me being in the industry for 30 years now, I've got to make sure I position myself with some type of, I wouldn't say authority, but like seniority within the music. So the music that I make has got to be more cultured. It needs to be wholesome. It needs to have that message in there as well. Yes, I can do the lovers rock side, but if I've got to message, I mustn't be frightened to deliver the message within the music.
Amen.
To uplift the community and to uplift Black people on a whole, but also have that wider reach where we're not just going to say we're just making reggae music for Black people, we're making music for everybody. And this is the thing is that right, correct. And this is why I have the title as a Duke. As I said, Lindell Lewis was a Duke. And they said, like, it's about time once I signed to Lucky 13 Records, which I'm at now. So I think when you met me, I was with Lindell Lewis at DVS Records. I transferred to another label. So it's more of a transfer than signing to a new label because they're housed on the one roof. So the director said, we're going to put you back on Lucky 13 Records, which was my father's original label. My father was in the Sus Band, and they were in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. They've done 8 studio albums. They've toured with your Dennis Browns, Gregory Isaacs, Lee Scratch Perry. They were on the television, on the Tube, live back in the 80s. They've been on John Peel's show, Tony Blackburn. So I'm from that background. And it's a case of moving forward. When I went to Lucky 13, it's like, okay, I want to be back in the music. 2018, I released Rampwood, and that's what you heard.
That's what you, that's right. Yeah.
Right. You must see things say me soft. Me no donkey from a horse. Just cause they make them eye full of. Right, so that one. And then what we said is it was too much of a gap because I wanted to concentrate on my 9 to 5 to establish something in there. Now that I've established that, it's about time management, and that's very important. So now that I've established myself within that industry, it allows me time to explore different things. So I said, okay, let's do the music again. So I signed with Lucky 13 Records, and it's just full push. So from 2022, we've had 4 singles out. I think we're on to the 5th single now with Guardians, which Guardians is a representation of we come from greats within reggae music. And my aim is to make sure, and a lot of other artists, to make sure that we keep their names alive and keep what they've done in the forefront of what we do as well. Like today is Robert Nesta, Sir Robert Nesta Marley's birthday. So we salute the king of reggae. And if you see that he's been gone for so long, 1981, and his music is still up there because of the message in the music. So we're doing music with the message inside there to uplift the youth of today as well. And we've spoken on the phone recently about what we're going to be doing moving forward. And it's about having that message, having that upliftment. Yet we can do bashment, we can do this, we can talk about loads of different things, but it's having the youth to make sure that they've got something that they can say, okay, we've got new artists coming up and they've got a message in the music. And it's a modern message, and I can gravitate to that, and I can understand it and digest it in a way that it can help me. As a child, we used to lend our ear to the radio to get the message. Yeah, whether you wanted to listen to Sam Cooke or you wanted to listen to Bob Marley or Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaac, we had that. So it was an escape. And because everything is so saturated and fast at the moment, the shelf life of music is very short.
Yeah.
You send a song out, a DJ will have it for 4 weeks. He'll have it for 6 weeks. If you're lucky, he'll play it for 3 months. Wow. It takes you longer to record the thing.
Of course.
And the cost element of it as well. We were talking about costing and funding. And to make one single, it can cost anything from you can do it from zero. If you're an all-rounder, you do it from yourself. So let's say you can do from zero up to like £1,500 for one single.
Wow.
So
see, these are the kind of things that, say for instance, I don't know, you got like go on shows and that, and you know, you're talking about your music and everyone's like, yeah, and it's all great, it's all great, it's all great. What when I sort of like have people on for, because it's real talk, is as in like, you didn't just land where you are now. What have you done? Because, you know, I'm thinking like, I know you're performing, you do that now, but what jobs have you had previously?
Okay, so outside of the music industry.
Yeah.
So outside of the music industry, I'm a retail solutions architect. So I big retail systems. So like for like Morrison's, very much involved in that system for over 30 years. Just finished at the post office as well, where we were like having a look at the New Horizon system and also the hardware for that.
You don't want to be talking about that.
No, but the thing is that what happens is that
guilty. People be blaming you.
Well, it's not that. It was the new system, and what happens is that the old system that was here inside the Horizon system, all that had to do was find out what the actual problems were and have a look so it doesn't happen again. So there's a lot of lessons learned within that. So moving forward, we were tasked inside there to make sure it will never happen again. So the best of the best was brought in to make sure that the system that they build and they implement moving forward isn't going to cause those problems. So if I've been in the retail industry for 28 years, well, 33 years, I kind of know what I'm doing. And it was some very smart minds inside there working on that contract for over 2.5 years to have a look to see what the problems were, how we won't bring that across to the new system, and so on and so forth. So I think the post office will be in good stead moving forward in what they're doing, because they've identified what the problem was many years ago, and they know that they've got processes and policies in place to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Oh, wow. So what else have you done? So you're doing that, you know.
I stayed within the retail sector, like building some system. There's shops within that. I started when shops like Woolworths, Debenhams.
Anybody out there? Let's ask the people out there, because I don't know. It might be just me and you talking, Sparky. Ain't nobody out there paying attention or even listening to us. I don't know. Who remembers Woolworths? Anybody remember Woolworth? Let's see if anybody remember Woolworth. Where else? Who else?
CNA. We've done Holland. Yeah, I've done most of those retail stores that were outside there. Like all the pubs within London, we were doing all the pubs like years ago, because I worked for Toshiba, and they're a Japanese company. They were called Tech before, and then Toshiba was our parent company. So when it comes down to ECRs, electronic cash registers, that's what we were doing. So it's very mechanical and electronic, because we went to a college, we studied electronic engineering. So therefore we can go down to component level and use things like oscilloscopes and really repair something. Now everything's throwaway. I mean, like you have a phone, it's no good. Years ago, we used to repair things like that. Like down to component level.
Let's take the people back, Spark. Let's take them back. I want to go back even further.
Go ahead. Okay, well, how far back do you want to go? Do you remember CNA? There you go.
I want to go back. I'm making assumption now, but you tell me when I'm wrong. I'm going back now. So I'm assuming you were born in the UK. Am I right?
Yes, you're correct. I was born in West London.
West London. Okay, that's fine. So one of how many?
One of 5.
One of 5. And where do you fall in that 5?
Second, number 2.
Second from the top or second from the bottom?
Second from the top. So there's my sister Paulette, and there's myself.
Okay.
And then there's Richard, Andrew, and Stacey.
Okay. And
yeah, that's
how is school? How is school for you?
Good. Was I good at school?
No, did you enjoy it?
Yes, but I've got a very inquisitive mind. So even when from a young age, I used to question certain things at school. Why are we doing this and why are we doing it that way? Yeah, you paid attention. When I went to school, it was a case of we had to pay attention. There was no. I went to a school called Our Ladies of Dolours on the Harrow Road,
Okay.
and it was a Catholic school. So we went to
Oh,
school with nuns. Okay.
okay.
There's no playing about inside there. When you sit down, you.
Tell them, man. Tell them.
So there was a Sister Catherine. If you had to go to Sister Catherine's office, oh dear. Yeah. So we were very disciplined, very disciplined. So this
is a disciplined child, isn't it?
This is from primary school, very disciplined. So when I see certain things that happens around school, and we didn't have any of that.
Mm.
It was very rare that you saw anybody having a fight or altercation within our school like that.
Yeah.
Very rare. We were all one, united, and we used to enjoy school very much so.
Oh, so primary was fine. High school good
Yeah,
too?
secondary school was good as well, but like it was around the time where the NUT, is it NUT? It was the NUT, wasn't it? That's your Union of Teachers. But it used to strike a lot.
Okay.
So you could be at school and then like you were out because they were like on strike. You had to take your So for the first 3 years or 2 years at school, it was very disjointed.
Mm.
But my father is a well-educated man, so we had like encyclopedias and things like at home, and there was no excuse for you to say school is off, so you're not going to do anything. So
do you know?
Go ahead.
Do you know what? There was this thing that I read, I think it was just yesterday, and it was a case of like back in their days, exactly that. It was encyclopedias. And if you had encyclopedias, that meant to other people you were rich because you could afford encyclopedias. And that is where families got their knowledge from. Now it's this. Right? Everything's in this. But before it was big ass.
When it comes down to this technology.
Was it like Reader's Digest and all of that?
Reader's Digest, right. So you know.
Yeah.
So encyclopedias and things like that is where you got the knowledge, and then you had Britannicas and things.
Yes.
So it's a case of we used to do our research and go to the library and then get the textbook out, and then when you was doing your comprehension, the answers were within what you was reading. So therefore, if you read it, you would get the answers. And it's the way so it was still quite simple, but it's the way that you put it together. All you had to do was sit down, address what you had to do, and get on with your assignments. So we were very disciplined at what we wanted to do. And plus, if you didn't do it, you weren't allowed to go outside to play football. Football was my passion. So oh gosh, yeah. So I had to make sure I'd done my homework so I can go out and play football. So it's like quick, fast.
So at one point, did you have a choice? Was it a case of was it football, music, and did you go to music, or was football just not as passion, or I don't know?
Very, very passionate, because I went to the Stowe Club on the Harrow Road, and there's also a picture on my Instagram where I met Pele when I was.
No way.
Yeah. Because the football club that I played for was associated with Watford Football Club. John Barnes came from the same club and went on to play for Sudbury Town and so on and so forth. So most of like the scouting is that we were sort of a different level of a football club. Is that they used to come and watch us all the time. And many people were selected to go and have trials at Watford, and they used to always watch us all the time. If you didn't make the grade, you had to like go and play. I remember when I didn't make the grade, and it was a case of I had to go down into Sunday football. And then I asked my mum for some money because I had to pay subs for football. She couldn't believe it. So we went to subs. I thought you was going to be professional. I'll never forget. I said, "Yeah, we have to pay membership and everything." So
I know.
What type of level is that? And I said, "Man, it's not that great, but I'm still playing football." And from then, I went to play semi-pro and things like Tring Town, and then I had a knee injury, so it was a case of it kind of stopped me from getting to that level. And being that child of where we always strive to be the best at what we do, no matter what we put inside. If I was a road sweeper, I would be the best road sweeper. If I was stacking shelves in Tesco's, I'd be the best at doing it, because we do things with pride. So when it came to the level where I couldn't perform the way that because football was easy to me. Like mentally here, you could see a pass and ping a pass 30 and get it right on the person's foot. So when you're watching it today, you can understand that we had the speed as well. So it was a different level, like playing that where you could just hit the ball 20 yards and me against another man. I could even turn around and say to him, "You ain't getting there before me," and still run and beat him. It was that easy.
The guy that's coming on next, I'm going to bring him on whilst you're still on in a bit, because I want you to kind of meet. And actually, Michael should be at that great event next Wednesday, the screening of One Love. So you guys are going to get to meet.
Brilliant.
And
he also said that Michael had a knee injury.
Yeah, because he sort of said, he's just posted that there's synergies between what you've said and the kind of things that he does now. So I just knew there'd be some kind of connection. And this is what we talked about as
it's once again, it's the D magic, bringing people together.
That's what we do. And I'm going to bring the producer on in a bit, because she will tell you kind of like just what we do. It's so kind of like in terms of, because you're coming back on now that we're fully connected again. Unfortunately for you, you're not going to get away again.
Not this time, Dee. Not like 2018. I've escaped you for like 4 years or so, and now I'm back in the fold.
You're back in the fold now. You're back in the fold. So the music side, we'll be promoting that and sharing, the videos and everything like that. And we do different things, and we'll get you on so you could be performing. And I've been told. The producer might even just bring herself on now because that's what she's like. There's so many haters out there. You know that, Sparky, in your industry. And I know in what I do, when I do a lyrical sing, the haters come out in abundance. And they're like, here we go. There's a producer.
Hi, good
evening. This is not only the producer of this show, Sparky, this is also the Simply Deez. This is also one of the directors.
Fabulous. Nice to meet you.
So one of the directors. So she is a VIP in the Simply Deez world. So it was important that I introduced. So like next week,
I'm the dog's body.
Stop it.
Is that the title? Or the description of your title?
I told you the director. I told you this is the producer, and then she says dog body. That is so not true. What she will do
is producer, which is front of house, and behind, like back of house, is dog
producer, director. Just kind of, she'll say she tries to keep me under control. But she is not a lover of my singing, Sparky. Unfortunately,
you're a trier. You are a trier.
Let's just get it right. God loves a trier. Am I right, Sparky?
It does, but vocally, if you don't have it, don't do it. I've not heard you, Dee, so I'm not going to say at this moment in time. But I dare say there will become a time where I'm going to need you to sing something, and we'll see what happens.
Hey, I tell you what, One Love next week, we are going to be. You got to remember, after the film, we got time. We got about 45, 50 minutes. So afterwards...
at that point, is that where we're going to hear your singing talent?
You'll hear all the way through.
I told you, Sparky, the haters.
Yeah, right.
And I can hold a tune. But there's some people that just don't appreciate it. That's all I can say. Okay. Some that just don't appreciate good notes.
I'll be able to be the judge of that next week. As I can hold a note. So I'll be able to, because we're friends, Dee, so I should be able to give you an honest opinion.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right, bye, Shell. Bye. Bye, Shell. Bye.
Brilliant.
I was just going to say, you are now stuck in a loving way.
Right, there you go. Very much so.
See, so Shelley's just keeping it real and just telling you now that, because I don't believe Shelley's met you before, but she's just trying to say that now that you're in, and she's, trust me, she's fully, there is no escaping.
Okay.
There is no escaping. There's
That's
so
not
much.
problem.
There's so much that not just we do, as you can hear and you see. There's so many people that have been on the show tonight, and it's like, how do we get messages across of what people are doing? So invite them to come on the show and to share. We then share out. So that's why we're always telling people to share, because it might not be, that might not be for you, but guess what? Such and such, that's for you. That's for your sister. That's for your brother. That's for your, you know, and that's how it works.
Perfect.
And we then move forward. So in terms of your music, my gosh, there's so much. And I know, as you can see, shelves along the ticker there, that's all the information that people that are interested will be sharing, the videos and things that we've got also as well. I don't know whether what happens is the producer, she'll mute me, even though I unmute myself, she'll mute me back if she hears me singing, even though I want to. Look at her, she's laughing. Is there anything kind of like, what do you want to kind of get across? Because what I want you to get across to people is that you're not just here just for a little thing. You're here for not just this show, but they're going to see that we're going to be doing things together over the next year and whatever else.
Of course, we've had this discussion like over the weekend when we were like doing the talk and a preview about the show, and it's, as I said, if we've got a platform to help the youth of today, because there's a lot going on at the moment, and you kind of feel the environment when you're out there, us as adults as well, we can feel that it's very heavy, and the navigation through life it's quite heavy at the moment.
Yeah.
And we've come out of lockdown, and how many people bounce back to what they were originally when they were in lockdown? Are people the same? Am I moving the same that I was before lockdown? Who knows? Who's telling you the right things, you know? And these are the type of things what we've got to have a look at and protect the youth of today, to make sure that they've got avenues that they can go down in a positive sense. If they need a big brother, if they need a hand, if they need advice on something, these are the type of things that we want to set up moving forward. And I said, we had a word, we won't disclose what we're going to do, but we have a plan to put a charity together. It's because it's in the early stages. So we have a plan to put a charity together and to do some music around that. And also the proceeds of that will help underprivileged children and so on and so forth going forward. But mum's a word at the moment, because as you said, this is going up globally.
You're hilarious. Shell, do me a favour and bring Michael on, please.
Michael on there.
So Michael is the next guest. Mr. Wallace in the house.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
How you doing?
Michael, I'm doing good, darling. You know that. Michael, I told you a little bit about this young man, and obviously I can see from your posts you've been listening, and we get to the music side, because obviously there's that side to it, but there's so much more to people than what people know. And obviously from the bits that you've seen and what have you, do you see what I meant about linking, Michael?
Oh, definitely.
I'm so, you know, when you kind of like, I'm like this, you know, when you kind of like just know, and you can foresee kind of thing. So you're not going anywhere quite yet, Sparky. You will do in a moment, but I just want Michael just to just say whatever you want to say to Sparky from what you've heard.
Right. Well, not just to Sparky, to everybody listening. We all have a story. We've all been on a journey, and just by Sparky speaking about his football, my love of football, I had a knee injury as well, and you know, I wasn't able to fulfill my dreams. I wanted to be a footballer. Who didn't want to be a footballer back in the day?
Of course.
You know, then again, I heard you mention about, I think, trials with Watford. Actually, Luther Blissett, he follows a lot of.
You know Luther very well.
Yeah, there you go. Luther Blissett knows about. You know, he's the first black. People don't know. Luther Blissett is the first black person to score a hat trick for England, and actually score for England.
Yeah.
A legend, and you know, we've got some real, and I'm going to throw out some old guard names here. Paul Cannavale, first black player to play for Chelsea.
Paul Cannavale, there you go.
Support a lot of what Kick Free does still today.
Brilliant.
Marcus Gell.
No, Marcus
Gell supports a lot of what Kick Free do.
Well,
So
I haven't seen Marcus for years. Marcus was at Wimbledon, right?
Yeah.
And he was at Brentford before then.
He's one of the kind of ambassadors for Brentford.
Right. No, I used to see. Oh my word! Robert Peters was another one, and guys like that. Oh, yeah, Marcus, great.
Yeah, so what Kick Free do is then it just resonates. We try and give opportunities to young people through. It started off with football, but it's grown to so much more. And music, arts, poetry. There again, the connection with your music.
Yes.
We organised a couple of years ago Stephen Lawrence Day that was during COVID, where young people, we've got them to perform online through with Stuart Lawrence was supporting a lot of what we're doing, and a young man. I was hoping for him to be on the show this evening, but he'll have another opportunity. Sammy, I met him in our local barbers, and I said, "Do you know about Stephen Lawrence?" And he didn't really know the story, and I told him to research it, which he did. And he compiled a song called Doreen's Heart, Doreen's Broken Heart, telling the story about Stephen Lawrence. So we through what we do try and educate people, but it's not just about, we're not just good at sports, music, art, poetry. We want young people to be entrepreneurs. We want them to jobs in engineering, doctors, pilots. The Royal Air Force are one of our sponsors that we try and give young people opportunities in engineering, whatever they want a vocation in life. So we have to connect the dots.
Fabulous. One thing about Deez, she's very, very good. Very good.
Michael, are you coming next week? One love.
Yeah. No, I'm coming. I'll put the word out to. There should be a few listeners listening, and I'm hoping I'll put the word out to them to come next Wednesday.
Sparky's coming next Wednesday.
So we'll
be there.
And And before you go, this book here, can you see it? What does it say, Dee?
Blacks can't swim.
Right. Have you learned to swim yet, Dee?
Not fully.
Oh, get out of here, Dee. What do you mean not fully?
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Me and Michael have spoken about that.
Yeah.
I've got a trick.
We'll talk about it. Blacks can't swim. 95% of the black community don't swim.
Is that 95%? Is it that high
This
still?
is current. Yes.
What?
There's a film about it that done by produced by Edward Cura and a lot of the young people in that film are involved through Kick Free. So watch the film Blacks Can't Swim, and there's more to come. Watch this space.
That's
Look at Sparky's going like.
I just give you. Is that you?
No, that's Edward Cura, who's
okay.
The producer. He's a musician as well. So
okay.
You need to connect.
We're gonna do that. Let's see.
Connect the dots. Blacks Can't Swim. There's a
Brilliant.
film. It's out on Sky, Amazon. Lots of big things to come. So there's a film about his story about unable to swim. So watch your space.
I think I've seen like clips of that on YouTube as well.
Probably.
So my funny story, just quickly, Dee, is that I couldn't swim. And I wanted to achieve one thing different every year for the next however long I've got left.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing was that I started taking swimming lessons. And this was back about 15 years ago. So we started on your width, your 5 meters, and then it was a case of we had to do the 25 meters. So we're in the shallow end. So we kicked off. I'm going through the water because I can swim. And in a pool, which I never knew, I knew the gradient, that's the deep end. I don't know how they make the deep end. I just know it's the deep end. So as I'm swimming, I saw the floor just disappear. So I've got my face in the water. So I started panicking. So I really got to the end as quick as possible. So they said, okay, Sparky, can you come back? I said, not a chance. No. So I got out and then done it again till you're kind of used to it. But to see the floor disappear, it's like, whoa. But I do.
We're going to talk more.
Okay. Do urge people to go for swimming.
About. No, don't apologise. Don't apologise. This is what this is about. And Michael gets it because Michael's been around for a while. Sparky, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
I can feel it.
It's by just for now. For now. But we are going to be next week, Wednesday, One Love. It is not just we screen a movie and see you later. We don't do that. When we screen and when we do things, it is about us as a community. It's connecting. That's what we want. We don't want you just to come there, watch and go home. We want you to be talking to each other, talking to people maybe you've never met before, you've not seen before. Because when you start talking to people, you know what happens, right?
Of course.
You know what happens. So the fact that you guys are coming tomorrow, thank you. Oh, not tomorrow, next Wednesday. Oh, tomorrow. One love. One love. Sparky, for now, I will speak to you tomorrow, darling.
Thank you very much, Dee. Sir Michael, it's been a pleasure meeting you, sir.
Stay tuned.
Next Wednesday, we're going to link.
Indeed. Yes, sir. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, see you later. Bye-bye. Michael.
How you doing, Dee?
How am I doing? I'm doing fantastic. And the reason I say that is because you know how it is. It just works. And then I'm getting messages from people sort of saying about blah, 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 blah. I need to connect with and da, da, da. And that is how it works, how we can help and support one another. And I know you've been a big part of that. So I do appreciate you. But people are watching. It says Michael Kickoff at 3 founder. And they're like, I've seen him before, I think. So tell us a bit about you. And I know there's something that you want to promote for next week, but tell us a bit about you, first of all, if you don't mind.
First of all, it's not about me. It's about our young people in the community. I think I need to say that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying...
no, I know.
No, let me say, because this is how a lot of things that I do, and it's a case of like, for things to happen, it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So this has started somewhere. Kickoff for 3 just wasn't like, right, born and off you go. You talked about an injury, where has it come from for it to be what it is now? Because people need that foundation to hear it first of all. And then they're like, they'll understand and appreciate how massive and how great this is. Yeah,
no, okay. No, thank you. For anybody that doesn't know me, my name's Michael Wallace. I'm the founder of Kickoff 3. And I must say, I have got letters after my name. People say, oh, you should promote that. I feel a bit embarrassed, but I have got a Queen's medal for my dedication and work in the community. So it's equivalent of an MBE, OBE, whichever way you look at it. I was awarded by Prince William last year at Windsor Castle, which my mother came along with me. Big love to Mum, Barbara Benjamin, if she's listening. Big love to Dad in Canada as well, my parents. So Kickoff 3 was it was originally set up. It wasn't me alone. It was originally set up by me and Ashley Levin. And we set it up both with our passion for football and bridging that gap between young people and the police. We know it's not the best of relationships. And we went on a real whirlwind of a journey where we starting off just doing small tournaments, inviting. It's a bit like back in the old days where you just tell people to come. Don't care, how good you are, what your ability, just turn up and play. We arranged an event back in Croydon in 2016. We had 80 young people turned up and we were supporting.
2016, is that how far?
16,
wow, I didn't realise it was that long.
Yeah, so 8 years now, believe it or not.
Jeez.
And we had 80 young people turned up and we was raising awareness for the African Caribbean Leukemia Trust charity, which, if anybody doesn't know, was set up by Owen Lewis and Beverly DeGale, where they lost their son, Daniel DeGale. He had a rare form of leukemia, but he eventually, unfortunately, passed away through multiple organ failure. So we was raising awareness. When people hear about bone marrow, especially our black people, they think, oh, they want you to give it the bone and all that. Not understanding is their blood stem. So it was about education. And then we arranged another event in Barnet, literally a few months later, and then believe it or not, we had 150 young people just turned up. And what was amazing is 90% of those young people that turned up from all backgrounds, 90% of them signed up on the Bloodstead register. So we had something where young people being educated, they were giving back because the money that they paid to play an event was going to a good cause. But what we had was harmony, unity. You know, whatever your religion, whatever your culture, everybody was coming together. And it was amazing. And then it's gone on a whirlwind where what we do now is we run these events across the country, Northern Ireland. We've been running it in Luton, and I'll have to talk a bit specific about Luton a bit shortly, but we've done it in Cheshire, Durham. We've traveled some amazing places. We've even had interest from Jamaica, Canada about delivering our events.
I'll help with Jamaica. I'll help.
Yeah. Let's do it, Dee. Let's work in partnership. Look, if there's anybody out there that wants to come together in partnership to deliver something for the young people in overseas, Jamaica, or any of the West Indian islands,
this is how.
Contact me. Happy to. Let's do something. Let's do something. It's for the young people.
I can see. Yeah.
But it's evolved so much more than just football. We've organised music events for young people. We've done,
basketball.
We've done running, cycling during COVID, and we've had young people that actually found employment. We had a year ago or so, Anthony Joshua. You remember the team contacted us. Anthony Joshua, the boxer, found out about what we were doing, and he said, "Look, he wanted a young person that he wanted to mentor." Because people heard about Kick Off Free and what we do about giving opportunities. And we had a young man, Jones Camille, who he done a form of an advert with Anthony Joshua. There's so many stories. It's not just about the glitz and the glamour. Something very close to my heart. Like my youngest son is autistic. So we've connected with some great charities. There's one particular charity I can mention, MenCat charity. They've got sites across the country where they offer forms of like internships to give young people opportunities to gain employment. The Ollie Foundation charity around suicide awareness, and a charity that I'll talk about very shortly, prostate cancer. There's so many different charities through what we do. We've connected with to spread awareness and help young people. And something very close to my heart as well, mental health. I've seen something.
Kerry, no, you won't. I know Kerry. she is funny. Kerry, look at this. Look at the amount of volunteers you've got.
That's all right, man. Listen, she don't carry my case. She can help volunteer and help us. Let's get some fun. Let's do it. Let's get an event in Jamaica, man.
Kerry, are you coming to One Love next week, Kerry? Answer in the chat. We want to know, because this is what this is all about. Because that way, then you can. Don't get me wrong, we can meet, but this is an opportunity for us to. That's the producer, by the way. Opportunity for us to connect and meet, and as in like how we can, we don't just say, and that, Michael, don't say here on Simply Deez how we can help and how we can support you, and it's like you're like yeah, and don't hear from me. It's like, oh my gosh, there's this, there's that, and to see what you're doing. It's like, right, how can we help? So we're sharing, whether that's on social media, or it's like, how can we get you involved, get you on the shows? You're doing absolutely incredible work for the young people. So
thank you. We received some good accolades along the way. It's not about the accolades, but it's nice to be recognised. 2 years in a row, 2018, 2019 was recognised by the Premier League, the Football Blacklist Award, where Ash and I won the award 2 years in a row.
Wow.
When we was awarded at the Football Black, and we're regular guests when they have their Football Blacklist Award. And great people, legends like Sil Regis and other great people in the game of, Raheem Sterling, some great people that have been recognised and awarded, but not just footballers, but people are doing work at a grassroots level in the community. So, and then we was awarded, recognised. I got a letter from 10 Downing Street last year, just before Christmas. Actually got a Christmas card from our Prime Minister recognising our work. And something that I need to mention as well, that it's something quite close to heart, that a lot of it might affect a lot of people here on this call. Last June, we organised a Windrush event in St Albans, where we had young people from Luton that took part. They are winners of our Kick-Off event hosted in Luton last year. And they actually, the young people from Luton, were actually winners up of our national final. But when we organise all these football events, they go to a final, and I think they're called Luton All Stars, if I remember correctly. Luton All Stars, which the event was hosted by Beds Veru, and community and Luton Football Club was supporting the chairman, and we had a great turnout. And those young boys, Luton All Stars, ended up runners up. So big up to all the Luton Massive and all the boys and girls that took part in our national final. And hence, with this year, we've been the last several years we've been hosting the finale in London, and we want to host the finale in Luton this year. So anybody that wants to help and sponsor or get involved, we want to bring the country to Luton. Luton is a fantastic place.
Everything's coming. We've been speaking about it today, because I don't know if you know, but the Radio 1 Big Weekender, it's called, is coming to Luton.
Right, okay.
That's the bank holiday, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The carnival is on the Monday, and now you're bringing this. So Kerry and everyone, it is all happening in Luton this year. Wow.
We want to make it happen. But just to go back to just before I was talking about that, we hosted at Oaklands College last June. We ran an event in St Albans, and it was supported by some great people. It was a community coming together. I mean, I had some great volunteers that, they were meant to be just helping, but they ended up kind of running the event. Shout out to Donna Parris-Smith that helped us deliver the event. It was something personal to her and her brother as well, Anthony Parris, and the family, because their parents used to do a lot of youth work in St Albans, so it was important to bring not just those from the Windrush and the generations, but we held an event for young people so they could recognise the contributions of those from the Windrush show. And we had we had girls taking part. They travelled down from Nottingham. So
can I?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So Kerry, I know Kerry very well. We need to do something, ladies. What do you mean? So I don't know whether by that she means help, as in with an event. Does she mean like participate? I don't know. I remember when my son was playing football, and this is when he was junior school, and they sort of said to them like, we've got a special team that's been put together and you guys are going to get to play them. They were super excited, and it was the mums. And it was all their mums that were playing. So I don't know what Kerry means by we need to help and support. But this is all good, Michael, because you're going to see Kerry next week.
Yeah.
What event are you supporting next week and helping with?
So there's a couple of events that I'm doing, but the event that you're organising and that I'm going to be supporting is the One Love film premiere private screening. There again, that's something very close to heart, because my cousin Myron, he was one of the assistant choreographers in the film, where there was. So please,
waiting to hear from Myron at the moment, guys. Waiting to hear from Myron.
I'll give him a shout to, but he was one of the assistant choreographers for the film, and he spent several weeks in Jamaica, learning, about Bob Marley and you know, his music, the moves.
I could have been a dancer. See, all these lot out there, they say I can't sing, but they can't say I can't dance. I could do my little something. Oh, what?
It was an amazing experience for Myron, and then they filmed in London as well for the next six or so weeks, and then they had to go and do reshoots. So it was, you know, and we spoke about it, and he was saying that he grew up, everybody, black, white, whatever, grew up on Bob Marley's music.
Correct.
To believe that he was actually
be a part of it, yeah,
part of his life story. Kerry said, organise a night, an event night, get the kids together with Michael. My brain is on overtime.
She's amazing. You will see Kerry. Kerry, just confirm, are you going to be at the Mega Ball next week, Sunday? D, please. Does that mean D, please, not dancing? What does she mean by that? See, these people are cryptic. If you can get her on the show, Sally, give her the link and get her on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if Kerry's listening, which I believe she is, I would love Kickoff Free to link in with her. Let's organise something for the ladies. I've actually, somebody suggested, and they know who they are if they're listening. They.
Sorry, I was going to say something. I'm so glad that my brain got into gear before I opened my mouth there. Hallelujah, Lord, thank you, Lord, thank you.
Well, if the person's listening, who I'd sent the link to listen in, they suggested a wine tasting cheese evening kind of thing, bringing the ladies together. So I've got a connection. So any ladies that like wine and a bit of so maybe you know. And then we could do something separate for the children. So there's so many different things. So let's connect the dots and let's do something.
Listen, you've got no idea. I've been told so many times, they hate when I open my mouth. They're like, oh, God, what now? What now? You notice, Shell, I've said nothing. Not me. Over to Shelley. What were you going to say, Shell?
No, I was just saying that Kerry, I did send her a link if she wants to come on. I haven't heard anything back. But you're saying about something to do with the ladies and stuff. That a baker could get involved and actually do afternoon tea and stuff as well.
Yeah.
She's a baker. She is a baker.
Shelley's a baker, is she? Did you say?
She's got her own business.
Yeah.
I'll bring you something on Wednesday.
Let's have a sample. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
I'm not doing the whole screen.
Let's talk. So no, that's all good, and that's what we want. The conversations. We'll talk about that, Michael. But obviously, you wanted to talk about there is something happening apart from One Love.
Oh gosh,
is Esther? Is it?
Esther, oh my, Esther is a singer. Esther is a singer. She's listening in. Esther is a beautiful young lady that she sang when our charity events. Esther, she's like my daughter.
Esther, are you coming to One Love next week? Where's she live?
She's in London. She's in not far, but I will try and get Esther along because she works evenings, but I will phone Esther. I will try because she's a wonderful singer. She sang at our charity events, and she's a very talented young lady. And I'm so delighted that Esther's listening because she knows about Kickoff Free. Because we through our campaigns, we've actually managed to find 2 blood stem donor matches. I mean, do you remember,
that's amazing.
Do you remember the Ira Lloyd campaign?
Of course I do.
Ira. She's still going strong. Unfortunately, we didn't find a match, but her mother has told us that through the campaign that Kickoff Free done, a match was found for another family. So we through our campaigns.
They were both on the show, weren't they? Both on the show, and I met them both well. And
Brunda, which is Ira's mum, they've had a baby girl.
Oh, so, fabulous!
So it's about bringing people together, and I'm still in contact with them this day. So. We are doing good things, but Esther is a great singer, and I'm going to try and get her to come to if she's available next Wednesday. I'll give her a call after the show. But she's amazing.
Well, thank you for
Esther. She's meant to send me her music So I'm waiting for Esther to send me her music, but she's a talented young lady.
Well, Esther, obviously you're going to link with Michael, but I'm saying that anytime when you're ready, I would love to have you. I'll be there. Look, she's put, I'll be there.
I'll send her. I'll get her. I'll get her ticket. I'll check with that she's read, and I'll get her ticket to come next Wednesday. I'll get her ticket for her.
That would be amazing because
she's a lovely young.
I'm just saying, the show is also here for not Esther, because we're talking about Esther, but also, as you know, for the young people out there. And you know, when you sort of like, you guys have got your views and opinions and you feel that nobody's listening and you haven't got a voice, once there is no swearing, you are welcome to come on this platform. It doesn't mean that I've got to agree with you, but what I'm saying is you've got a platform to say what you feel we need to, as in the elders, because we ain't listening, and I know that. We're not listening to you guys. So this is a platform. You want to come on, you want to sing, you want to do spoken word, you just want to share how you feel about certain things. Please, please, please get in touch. We'd love to have you on. Michael, we've been chatting for so long. We've not even talked about what's happening next week.
I know you've got to have a guest, so yeah.
We've got another. I have got one more. Well, yeah, I've got another guest that's waiting in the wings that I need to bring on. So what's happening next? Is it Sunday?
No, this Saturday. This Saturday. Saturday.
Sugar.
Saturday. This Saturday, Cohen. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! In my head, I've got it's next week. Oops.
So, for those who are listening in, Kickoff Free are working and supporting Mega Ball, which Mega Ball, Winston Squire, big up to Winston and Ruth and Leanna and all the team from Mega Ball. They're putting on this fantastic event to raise awareness for prostate cancer. That anybody doesn't know, 1 in 4 black men are diagnosed with prostate cancer. And unfortunately, it's something very close to heart because my own father was diagnosed with prostate cancer just before Christmas. He's recently, last week, he had an operation to remove the prostate. So big love to my dad, who's recovering, and to all the men out there. And also, it's not just men, there's women who are fighting cancer. So this is about, cancer doesn't have any colors, it affects us all. So anybody that's fighting cancer, my thoughts and prayers are with them. Those who've lost loved ones through cancer, my thoughts and prayers, my condolences. And this is about why we're doing this event, to raise awareness, get, especially men, they don't speak up, there's a problem. They don't want to go to the doctor, they shy away. And by early diagnosis, it could save their life. So I urge any men, especially as we get older as well, just like women, it's the open conversation. They regularly get, checked. Men need to get themselves checked. It forced me. I recently went and had a PSA test, and I had a prostate internal exam check. And please, guys, it's a painless task. Go to your doctors and get yourself checked because early diagnosis could save your life. So we're doing this event on Saturday to raise awareness. We're going to be at Lee Manor
Recreation Centre,
Recreation Centre from 1 o'clock until 5, and it'll be fun packed where we're having all different exercises,
different activities, isn't there? Yeah,
to music, reggae, soul, everything, just fun, uplifting. Please come along, even if you don't want to join in an exercise.
Just be support, can't you?
I'll be taking part, doing a bit
Lord.
Yeah. And I will give my little bogle, a little wine.
Oh, absolutely.
All for charity. I'm going to be bringing my son along to take part, and there's going to be some great contributor supporters there. So please, if you live in Luton or in the surrounding areas you're listening, please come down. Bring your family, your children. Children can be involved from 14 years upwards, but even if you've got younger ones, please come along. cancer affects all the family. It's raising
Oh, it
awareness. So
certainly
please
does.
come down, support, bring your whistle, bring your horns, bring your trainers.
Just getting ready for one, love. We're just getting ready for just getting
come down, please.
Because
Kerry,
Kerry's gonna. I told you she's there.
Tell her to bring it.
It's Lee Plain, Kerry. It's Lee Plain. I think Lee Drummond's actually.
Lee's playing. Anybody that knows Lee Drummond, DJ, he's very well known in Luton.
Sort of we know.
Lee will be doing the music, so you know, if you want to come for a little Saturday rave up, then
even if you just come for just wine your little self,
you know,
they'll take your money. They'll take your money. They'll take your money. And because we're talking about cancer and everything, that is what Bob Marley died from. Yeah. And what sticks in my head, it was melanoma that he had, and that is what my dad had, melanoma cancer. And that started in his toe, and my dad was the sole of his foot.
Right.
And that will always remain. But for those of you, they know Bob's passed away. Bob, died. But it was melanoma. They say it was melanoma cancer that he actually had, and sort of like where he passed. Michael, I could talk to you forever. I'm going to have to let you go.
Thank you.
We will connect up. Hopefully, I can come down on Saturday. Don't know why I've got it in my head. It's a following Saturday. Everything's just going so fast. If I don't see you Saturday, even if I pass through for just a little bit, which I probably will do with the little one, because I think I've got my granddaughter at the weekend, just say hi and support you guys.
And again, just the final words, please. Big shout out to everybody that's supporting Kickoff Free, and big love. Watch out for Edacura from Blacks Can't Swim. There's something coming very special soon with Edacura. Watch this space. Something's happening big. So please watch out for Edacura, and you might even see Kickoff Free around on the scene somewhere. So watch this space. Big love to everybody. Thanks very much. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. All right, and I'll catch up with you soon. Okay, sure. I know our next guest, or my kind of final guest, has been waiting in the wings very patiently. So I do appreciate that. If you can bring on, if she doesn't come on straight away, I'm going to sing. Greetings, sister. Greetings. How are you?
Hi. Can you hear me? I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay.
I sure can.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm really good. I'm really good. I've not seen you for a little while.
Yeah.
Not seen you for
here.
a little while.
I'm local. I'm here.
Oh, I follow you. Don't get me wrong. I follow you. But in terms of, I think it was probably maybe 2 years since we had you on the show. Do you remember?
That's right. Yeah, it was great. I remember
you were doing something in London, and if I remember rightly, I think somebody that you knew, I'm sure it was a friend or something, that somebody passed. Am I right?
It was my sister passed away from cancer, actually, and I was launching a book. I was launching a book. I think that was the event.
I didn't remember what it was, and I didn't know that it was your sister. So it's, I can't think of the word, whether it's sometimes timing, God's timing, because I could have got you on at any time, but for whatever reason, it's today.
Yeah. God's timing is always perfect. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's today. So it is a pleasure to have you on. Now, people are like, it says Jessie. Who's Jessie? They're like, who's she? Now, it's not for me, because you know when people, and it's a case of like, oh, I've got that, and they read like a resume, and I'm like, I never do that.
Yeah.
Because if I do that, then what are you going to say? Look at that Sparky. She isn't she? She is looking fantastic. She is. So tell us and the masses out there, because remember, because we're online, it's global.
Yeah. Okay.
So remember, I've got the producer will tell you, I've had people sort of say, I'm watching from Malawi and I'm watching from
That's brilliant.
It is. So when you're
Alright.
thinking like you're talking to a few little people in their homes in Luton, you're wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong. You're talking to the masses. I've got my cousin who's in America that's always watching. It's always watching. So please, who are you or what do you do? I'm so excited to have you here. You don't understand.
I'm saying it again. So who is Shezi? Well, if you were born in the 60s and grew up in the 70s, especially interested in lovers rock, and you remember the first Black British female reggae trio called Brown Sugar, then I am Pauline Catlin, the founder member of Brown Sugar. And Brown Sugar was Karen Wheeler from Soul to Soul, as you know her now. Kofi the singer, originally Carol Sims, and myself. So I'm Brown Sugar, but as a big woman now, I'm Shezi.
Oh, that's why the show's called Real Talk. That is why the show's called Real Talk. I love it. I love it. So you're talking, you used to said 60s, 70s. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're in 2024.
I'm a 60s baby, you know. So
am I?
I'm talking to my generation of.
So am I.
Of young people. Isn't
it? We're still young. Tell them, sister. Tell them.
So you know, 70s is when it began with "I'm in Love with the Dreadlocks," "Hello Stranger."
Excuse me. None of the people out there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, because I think I'm sort of.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Sorry. So they're all going like, hang on a minute, Dee Bailey has somehow got on Shezi from Brown. None of them are believing any of this. Okay, so I've been told I can't sing. Everybody laughs, I can't sing. And I got to admit, I'm not brilliant, but I can hold a note. And all I keep telling them is, God loves a trier.
Yeah.
So, sing, Shezi. That's right, Kerry. I'm working my way to asking her.
You got me last time doing this, didn't you?
All you did was 1 or 2 lines. That's all I got you to do, because they don't believe. They think you're an imposter, or they think this is the Masked Singer and got somebody looking like you, but not really you.
Oh, really? I ain't got no mask on. You're joking.
So love the old school lovers rock. You know that, Michael. All of those people, they're all messaging. Now, what will happen now is I will get taken off air. Well, I won't, but I'm just saying that to you, just to try and twist up your little arm a little, just to give us just a little something.
You want me to give you a little something?
Of course.
Okay. What do you want? Which song do you want?
Exactly that. You're in love with that one.
Okay. I'm in love with the dreadlocks. I've never felt this way before. I'm in love with the dreadlocks, and every day I love him more and more. We live righteously in love and harmony, and I just want the world to know, oh no, I'm in love with the dreadlocks. So that was me at 14. And me at 60 plus is and birds gotta fly. I'm gonna love one man till I die. Can't help loving that man of mine. Okay, is that good enough?
I know you think the screen's frozen. And I was thinking, I'm going to scare her. She thinks the screen's frozen, but I'm just like, I didn't think I was going to get so much out of you. Oh my God.
So check out Shezi.
all this young lady's details are going across the screen, Pam, Pam, you know that, Michael. all of that. Now, did you say 14?
Yeah, I was 14 when I sang I'm in Love with the Dreadlocks. I think they chose me because I was a little rebel one with my little natty. So, yeah.
I'm like kind of, my granddaughter's 2 years from that. What do you know at 14?
Well, it's true, but from way back when, I always tell the story that my sister, Simi, who was known as Sister Cece, she sung songs like Stop Hurting Me, Don't Wanna Lose You. She sang with a guy called Roland, Carolyn and Roland, I'm Having Your Baby. So if you remember songs like that, she was taking me to Shabines from the age of 12, you know what I mean? So we were out there when we shouldn't be, but, we loved music, we were talented. And 14. I mean, I got 10 grandchildren, so I know. I look at my grandchildren and think, my gosh, what was I doing at 14 for real? But it was God bless. It was good.
So hang on. So are you telling me school and the music, or are you telling me one had to give? I don't know. How did it work?
After school, lunchtime, you name it, skipping school. Don't tell my grandkids that though.
They're not going to be
hopping school, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean we did what we love to do. Myself and Karen especially. Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, because we're practically the same age, and I know if I want to try and tell my mum and dad that singing was going to be the thing at 18, let alone 14, Nogasa.
Well,
because it was a case of books, the education, the books, and nothing else could come between the books. The education, nothing else. There was no room in their minds for anything else.
I hear you. I mean, I come from a family of accountants, believe it or not. But my father, he used to sing. He used to sing in a quartet, and he had a beautiful voice, like a very Nat King Cole type of voice. And he schooled myself and my sister and my brother in harmonies and how to sing. So music was very, very much a part of my family life.
Oh, so it wasn't really a big an issue, as in, like, for me, you might as well forget it.
No,
I would have had to run away.
My father was very musical. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what else have you done apart from sing? I mean, you stepped shelves in Tesco. I mean, I don't know. What have you done?
I mean, for about 30 years, I worked in the creative sector in the arts. So I ran projects for the Arts Council of England. I set up my own company for a while. I've lectured. I've delivered modules. I've written modules for the University of Bedfordshire. I ended up as a freelance bid writer. So I've been in the creative sector for a very, very long time. And I mean, it was only when I lost my sister to cancer that I decided to come back to my first love, because we started singing together at a very early age, and obviously in the music industry. And she was never happy that I kind of hung up my microphone and decided I wasn't going to be a part of the industry anymore. And when she was passing, it was, a very special moment. And I just thought, life is too short. I need to come back and do me. So hence the brown sugar to Shezzy.
Out of something so sad, something beautiful can still happen and take place. So what have you been doing? How can people see you? Just the whole everything.
Wow. Well, I've released quite a few singles and an EP last year called Lioness. So if they check me out on my website, www.shezie.com, which is SHEZZIE, She, all my music is there. I'm about to release a couple of singles this year. But over the last couple of years, I've been doing some shows. I've had some sellout nights at Pizza Express Live in Holborn. I did a couple of big shows last year, one in Birmingham, which was the Legacy Centre. That was brilliant. And I'm hoping to roll out this show, which I call From Brown Sugar to Shezzy. And the show is where I take the audience on a journey from brown sugar to Shezzy. So I'm singing all those brown sugar songs from the vault that you don't hear again. Some of my sister songs, Don't Wanna Lose You, Stop Hurting Me, all those songs are part of the showcase. So watch out for some more shows this year and beyond, Brown Sugar to Shezzy shows. And I'm also about to share some of my vegan recipes. I've been a plant-based vegan eater for over 30 years. So as an opportunity to celebrate the new single and celebrate that, I'll be offering some free downloads of some of my personalized recipes with a Caribbean twist, of course.
There's a few things that I want to say.
Okay, so
I remember a couple of years ago when you were on the show and we were having a conversation, and I'm like, I don't understand, because I know I see it, London, there, and I'm like, why is there nothing here? Now tell me if I'm wrong. I know it's my show, but seriously, tell me if this is not the conversation we had. And you said you don't get the support here. Do I remember that correctly?
Yeah. I think the issue is multi-layered at a local level. A lot of the work that I do nationally and globally, really. But then that is the way of the world at the moment, isn't it? The internet and social media has afforded us to develop audiences outside of what we're used to, and that has been a positive, to be honest. That's really positive. I think we have a lot to do as a community, particularly our generation. I'm not sure if we're there or we will get there, but it's wonderful to see, like the gentleman who was on earlier, talking about prostrate and doing events, and that's what we need. We need individuals just using their gifts to support and bless the community, and that's as much as we can actually ask for. I always say I hope that the younger ones get it right and learn to work together in a way that we don't.
We haven't.
Yeah, we haven't.
2000% agree with you, because I had this conversation, it's only over the weekend, that the young people are looking to us, take off the glasses. They don't see us doing very much at all. We do a lot of talking. We're good at the talk, but they don't see us.
The action speaks louder than words.
Exactly. So with that, they're doing their thing, but we're moaning, but they don't see us. So exactly, that's kind of the whole of, as in us, that's like Simply Deez. We're not the only ones, but what we try to do is very much kind of connect people.
Yeah, and you do it very well, do you? Do it extremely well.
And my team, you've got the producer there and others in that we. I've got this vision, and it's a case of.
I was actually thinking about you earlier. Sorry to cut you, and I was saying to myself, with the amount of work that I've done local over the years, I mean many years back, that what you're doing is something that we need and have needed. So. Well done to you, because it's done very, very well, and you really are about community, and that's exactly what we need. We have too much of this crabs in a barrel mentality, and that gap and that divide is so obvious. So just do you and do your thing, because it's being blessed, and I'm always happy to support you in it.
Don't make me cry.
What are you going to cry for? You're doing something beautiful. You're sharing your gift. You have something which is unique, and you have the ability to bring people together. And that is something that this community, Luton community, has been needing for a very, very long time and just haven't been able to make it manifest. And look at you. I salute you. I celebrate you.
Shell producer, can you come on just 1 minute, just to give me a chance to kind of get me little glasses unsteamed? But I know you don't understand, Shezzy, what that means to me and to us, kind of hearing that. We don't do stuff to get people saying, "Oh, well done, it's nice, it's what have you." It's when
I did a post this week about, to some people we are necessarily invisible, but you're not invisible. You're not invisible. I see what you do. Your presence is very much felt, and I want some cakes too, by the way.
Shell, have we got who have we got? Have we got any of the others? Are they still hanging around, like Michael, Sparky?
Michael's still backstage.
Sparky, don't know where you are. Get yourself back on. You know, I need kind of I don't know who's still around. I don't know. Shezzy, did you hear Michael at all? Did you hear any of what? I think
I heard some. I don't think I heard much. Yeah, I did. And, you know, I just salute you, you know, definitely. It's so important to speak up. It's so important for us to work together, to come together in the way that, you know, Real Talk is enabling, and Simply Deez is enabling. Well done. You
guys get it. You know, there's some people that get it and some people that don't get it. So we work with those that get it. Next week, Wednesday, private screening of One Love. I do believe everybody on the screen is going to be. So Shezzy, you're going to be there, aren't you?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Shezzy's going to be there. Michael's going to be there. Sparky's going to be there. And yeah, we are going to have an amazing, amazing time. I said earlier on, it's not just about screening. The film's going to be awesome. I'm not seeing it yet, but I know it's going to be awesome. But it's also so much about us connecting. It's so nice when you go somewhere. You normally go to the movies, you go in, you could go with a few friends. That was nice. You come out, and that's kind of about as good as it gets, if you know what I mean. But what we will have is, like, when you come along, is for us to connect with one another. There's some people that don't see people from year to year. You message on social media, you might message on a WhatsApp or something like, and that's as good as it gets. And the next minute you think, like, oh my God, I'm not actually seeing that person for a couple of years. And just for us to, oh my gosh, I can't even. Do you know what? I'll just feel emotional, if I'm honest with you.
It's going to be wonderful. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to meeting. You know, the thing about Luton is that there's so many of us here, but we don't know we're here. You know, so for me, it'd be an opportunity to connect, you know.
Sorry, Shelley.
Yeah, when we did the Colour Purple, it was one of the things after when we sort of, people had said goodbye and a few people stayed. And when we were talking, we was having the discussion. It was something that I wanted to ask at the time, and I did. But it felt even more important to ask the question, as in, how did everyone feel that it was a community that were together, that were watching a film? You didn't have any kind of thoughts. I mean, yeah, you're going to get sort of like, oh, there's no kids kicking the back of your seat and all that kind of stuff. You knew exactly who was there that wanted to actually really be there. But as part of that, it was the community that was there, of so many different types of people, ages and everything else. But you were all together. And it just felt so different. I mean, I was really relaxed because I was just sat on the floor.
I can do that, Lou.
Can I say something a minute, please?
Of course you can, yeah.
Right, I'm going to say, while Shezzy's here, hopefully Mr. Melody's listening, I would love for the Windrush, I would love to do a music event for the young people in the community in Luton, bringing talent. You know, I've always wanted to. I've done it online before, and I know it can work. I want to bring young people. They can dance, sing, perform, and we need people like Shezi, Mr. Melly, coming to lead the way to show these young people how it started. So we're giving them a space. I would love to do something like that in Luton, and I'm just bringing the community together in celebration of, you know, I know Dee's looking at me now and said, "Oh, I'm causing trouble here."
No, you know that. No.
Because this is the point where Dee then says, "Oh, actually," and then I then have the panic and want to run away.
I've already had a conversation with Michael. I'm like, I said nothing.
Well, I would love if we could join the dots. Simply Deez, Shezi, Mr. Mendy, there's loads of musicians, loads of DJs, and there's loads of people that work with young people. It's about celebrating everybody in unity, bringing the old guard, the more mature, and the younger, the future. They're going to be the future leaders. A safe space, you know, have a little, you know, just to kind of come together as a community. We don't come together enough as a community. Everybody's holding their little corner, doing their little thing, and say, "Come on."
That's what I said. Apart from like a wedding, a funeral, a christening.
Nobody's even getting christened these days. Not that I know. Not like back in the day.
Well, they're doing all them baby showers and all them things. That's all people are getting together for. And then, you know, it's the young people are doing their thing. The elders are doing their thing. So when we do what we do, we try to incorporate where we're bringing the youth in and we've got the elders in. And do you know what? Conversations. And we realise, do you know what? They've got something to offer. And we need to be listening to them as well as we've got things to offer, but we need to also be listening to them.
Yeah.
There's
somebody in Luton must have a nice building that he can put on and everybody have to dress up and do a look on, you know.
Well, that's part of the problem is the lack of a nice space, but also that Luton is heaving with talent from time. Heaving.
We've talked about this because we had the show earlier. There's another show we have. I know it's Tuesday lunchtime. And I don't know if you're aware. So we have got coming to Luton the May bank holiday. We have got the Radio 1 big weekend. Right? That's a Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And I know they keep forgetting to tag on, but we will be tagging on and reminding people the carnival has now moved to the Monday. Right. So that's 4 days of whatever's going to be going on there. And we know ourselves, there's plenty young people that have got a lot to offer. So I think it's a fabulous idea, Michael. Just look at Shelley. Well, Shelley, do you know what? This could be incorporated in a youth event, could it not?
Yes.
So, so watch this space. Watch this space. What I'm going to do, I don't even know what the time is now because we've got a few things that we just want to kind of say as we kind of wrap up. But Shezi, I salute you, sister, seriously. In so many ways, you wouldn't even know.
Thank you.
Honestly, you wouldn't even know. And I appreciate everything that you said, as much as I've got to learn to accept when people say things. That's part of what I'm learning to do, as in acknowledge it, accept it gracefully, and then I know I'll move on quickly, but that's not because I don't, it's because I struggle. I do struggle with that, but I'm learning. So I do accept that, and I do accept all those positive messages that those people out there have posted, and those people out there that have posted, we are so, as in the Simply Deez. Simply Deez isn't just myself. We've got Shelley here, we've got Cecile, and we've got a crew out there, and we've got supporters that not everybody will comment. So sometimes people go like, there's only 2 people watching. I'm out and about minding my own business. I saw your show, and I'm thinking, I didn't even know that person even know I had a show. And it's so you have silent people that will just gain the information, do whatever, and that they might not comment, but they're out there. So we're grateful to all of you as well. So when we say share, it's not so that we get 100 likes or something like that. Is that the information, when I just think about, just if you saw Shelley's post, my God, have you seen the lineup she's got on tonight? And the wealth of people that we've had on the show tonight, and every single person is bringing something to the table. And when you share that out, somebody be like, oh my gosh, why didn't you let me know? That information there, whether they're talking about cancer, whether we were talking about fibroids and hysterectomy, whether we're talking about your personal journey, Shezzy, Michael, and all what you've spoken about today. And just the contributions, that's what it's about. And can you imagine if everybody kind of like took it for what it is, and you'll share, that's gonna, you can't tell me this show is not helping people, is not going to help somebody that you know in some shape or form. You can't, I'm not having it. You can't tell me that. So that's why we truly, seriously, we appreciate everybody that comes on the show. Everybody that watches, everybody that shares, that is support. Support is not always monetary, and we have to remind everybody of that. I haven't got that, but do you know what? Sometimes it could even be your time. Michael's spoken about something, and we're going to put something. We are going to do it, Michael. I've gone and said it now. We're going to do something.
I'm going to hold you to that.
That's what I'm saying. I've said it now. Did you not see Shelley's face? Oh my God. She's putting it out there. That means there's no retraction. We know that. And it's a case of, you might not be able to, you know, finance, great, but you know what? Your time. You might know somebody that could help with a venue. You might know somebody that can do X, do Y. And the next minute you've got something absolutely awesome, and money hasn't even come into it.
I know somebody already that straight away, because I put this idea to a few people, and they know who they are, but they didn't deliver. But I've done this event. I've done it online, and I've done it at a race course before. And got young people together at a race course, and I put this idea to them last year, and they didn't bite. And it's a perfect opportunity. Let's just do it in Luton then. Other people will miss out. Let's do it in Luton. It can happen.
Right. We don't talk things. We manifest and we make it happen.
Yep.
And make it happen. So, Shezzy, I'm going to be speaking to you before Wednesday, because I have to.
All right.
I have to speak to you in person, but otherwise, and obviously give you the whole everything about next Wednesday, but we will see you then.
Okay, wonderful. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for your time, darling. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right.
Where can we find when you're doing your shows, or how can we support you when you're doing your shows? Where do we look when your show, Shezzy?
Well, you can check my Facebook.
All her information. We'll send it to you, Michael, because it was all on the
all over social media.
Yeah.
Linktree. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll send you all of that, Michael, and we put it on the show details as well, so that anybody watching that's like, oh my gosh, I didn't catch that, it'll be in there, and that way then, you know, we want everybody that's watching to at least follow the people that you've seen, follow them, find out what they're doing, and share with your friends and your friends' friends, and tell a friend. That's what it's about. Thank you. Michael, Mr. Wallace, you know I will be in touch.
Take care.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you guys so much. Shell, stay where you are.
See you.
All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye. Shelley Titmus, I need you to translate to me. We've been on air since about 7. What has taken place these last couple of hours? Because I'm kind of like...
As per usual, it's been a whirlwind.
Proper.
While you take your breath, shall I do Tishi's poem?
Yes, please. Tishi time. My God.
Tishi time. Right, so Tishi has not done an update. We've got a poem.
It's not one of the top shelf poems, is it?
It's not one of the top shelf poems. No, no. We're okay. We can smile at this.
You know what? Because she said to me, Auntie, she goes, "What do you want? An update or a poem?" I said, "A poem." I said, and she goes, "What?" I said, "Send it to Shelley." I said, "Send it to Shelley." I couldn't even think to even ask what shelf it might be.
This is written in January, so it's called It. So this is in your come true. This year you might get you want to be, but this is your year. You go through highs and lows this year, and they are going to make you stronger. This year you're going to be smarter and wiser than last year. This year you're going more negative and focus on the positive. This year is you growth. This year about not forgetting yourself and remember your worth. This year is all about staying present and staying blessed. This year is all about saying thanks.
You froze.
I froze.
Oh, you look like you're frozen.
I still
Kinda. The show's called Real Talk, and we've been on air probably about 3 hours. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Shell, you back? Is it me? Don't know.
I'm here.
Is it Mike? Yeah. We've been on air nearly 3 hours now, and I literally am going to have a glass of ginger wine. Yes, another glass. This mug wasn't water or tea. It was ginger wine. It was a mug full. It was only there, but I wanted to pop and get some more, but obviously I had guests. Wowza. I want to end at 10 o'clock, Shell, because, yeah. So today is oh my God, what is it? The 6th of February.
Yeah.
This Thursday, we have got the community Zoom. What? Yeah. If you follow us, you get it. Community Zoom. Who does a community Zoom? Simply Deez Events. How long we been doing it? I don't know. Since lockdown. But lockdown was almost 4 years ago. Yeah, we know that. There's still a need. There's still a need. So we will continue. Next week, we have the private screening. That means it's a screen. It's Simply Deez Events screen. So you might go and purchase a ticket from Cineworld. You ain't coming into our screening, mate. No. Now, Shell, this is me and you having a private conversation because nobody's listening.
No, yeah, okay.
Michael Wallace, is he going to be there?
I think he's meant to be there, yes. He surprised us last time because he got someone else to book.
No, but I knew he was coming.
I didn't know his name.
Is Shezzy? Is she going to be there?
Oh, yeah, I think she is. Yeah, for some reason, yeah.
Sparky, he's not going to be there as well, is he?
Well, we kind of tried to convince him to, yeah. Again, I'm not quite sure why. We could do something, I suppose, couldn't we? Could we have
So
a bit of a
all of them.
discussion and
He's coming. He's coming with I
no,
don't know.
no, I mean at the end of the film.
At the end.
Oh, could
I
we
don't
have
know
a
about no
little
discussion. We're gonna be doing a sing along. We're gonna be singing. We're gonna be dancing, and whatever else we're gonna throw in because that's our USP. We don't do it like a normal. So you going into your normal pictures. Hope you have a wonderful time because you'll be saying the same movie as us, but you ain't gonna be getting the razzmatazz that we're getting. Those people that are watching, those people who haven't purchased their tickets left. Oh, you can hear us because I told him to join us. I said we were all on screen, but he's in another meeting, so he's probably just listening to us. So yeah, it is going to be absolutely off the chain. Now, we are going to remind everybody of all the details. We're going to do that. The joining instructions, we'll be sending that out next week. Remember, this is Bob Marley. This is One Love. So the colours, the themey thing, people going like, how lame is that? Colour purple, I believe 85% of people all had something going on.
Yeah.
So this is what we're asking. Again, it's not compulsory, but you know you can work it, right? What, red, gold, green?
Yeah. Or a bit of Caribbean, a bit of
Yeah. Come on, guys. Let's represent.
I think I might wear my special trousers.
I think so. I had that. I was thinking, like, I hope she does. Do you know what the great thing is, guys? All those people that don't want me to sing, you know, are going to sing.
I think the whole cinema is going to hear you sing, not just the screen.
Oh, let me see if I can't grab Shezzy, Sparky, and it might not even be a duet. It might be a trio. Hey, is that Smara coming?
She is, yeah. She's going to try and keep you under control.
Yeah, let her try. But that's just that much of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Just that much. What else do you want to tell them about, Shel?
So, yeah, so that's the next thing that's then coming up. So you find all those details with the membership or you're buying the ticket if you're already a member on our Sum Up page website, but it's all on our Facebook pages and stuff. And then the next one that we're then going for, which is the one that is normally the first one of the year, International Women's Day. International Women's Day. So the day before Mother's Day, isn't it? On the Saturday the 9th. At the Hat Factory.
We're back at the Hat Factory again.
Yeah.
We're residents there, aren't we?
Yes.
So that is out there, and I know you're thinking like, cool, blimey, they're not really doing that. Yeah, we are. There's exhibitor stands available. We have got some speakers, but there might be a few more spaces. Oh, do you know what? I wonder if I could get Shezzy there.
Yes.
Shezzy, you bet. I wonder if you're listening, love.
That could be a thing, yeah.
Oh, sing along with Shez.
Especially with Samara as well.
Don't you think I think of all these things? I told her she needs to reach next week. And yeah, let's see some of these people, guys. You've seen the wealth of talent that we have. The Big Weekender. Don't you think we should see some of the talent that we've seen on here tonight?
Yes, definitely. Need local. Needs, yeah.
You can't be bringing in, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying those other people can't, but when you've got local talent.
And Luton has always had talent. Always. You go in, You're going back to Paul Young. You're going back to what's he up to? Yeah, going back to Paul Young, you're going back to before that, and there's some of the bands in the 70s and stuff. They've come from Luton. They've come from Luton.
If I didn't think I could sing before, tonight you guys have just given me the...
Please tell me you're not going to be on the ginger wine before Wednesday.
To all those at Cineworld. Okay, this is how we do it. This is how we roll. Myself, producer. That's how it works. She keeps me in check.
You keep me in check.
Who knew that Shelley wanted to be a ballerina? When she says keep her on her toes, literally. She liked that one. Yeah, then we're going like, Jesus Christ, that's what you call a duet. Them two are bloody awful. Awful presenters. Do we care?
Did not. Then you add Cecile into the mix. The three of us, how the hell do we get anything done, really, eh?
But in all seriousness, as we're wrapping, because there's so many different things going on, Kerry Sullivan, thank you. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for your continuous support in more ways than you know. We always, after what we do, you know, when we say watch this space, you do need to be concerned. I must admit, you do, because you know something's coming. You know something's brewing. I do try and tip off Shelley and Cecile as much as I can. Not too much, because otherwise... Yeah, exactly. But the comments tonight are Kerry, don't even. The comments tonight and the support. When I say stuff like that, people are like, yeah. But only we know what we do. And we do make serious sacrifices, don't we, Shell? That they wouldn't know about. And when you get sort of like that people, you don't just have a show like this and get Shezzy, Sparky, and people just rock up on your show. People are like going like, what the hell? How have they managed that? Don't you think we ask ourselves the same thing week after week?
I think your man's always been, what's the worst that could happen? You just ask the question.
Is the authenticity, and because we are authentic and not everybody sees it. Kerry, you need to stop.
We're going to make you cry.
Is that what she's put?
No, I'm
No, seriously, if I'm honest, it is overwhelming. I like when they were on it, I'm going like, I feel like I've kind of dreamt, and it's really surreal when you're hosting a show for that length of time and you talk to all these different peoples. We've gone from talking about heavy periods and fibroids and hysterectomy and all that sort of stuff to then fundraising, to then cancer, to then performances and to the music, and it literally is a roller coaster. I think I forgot to tell them to put on their seatbelts at the beginning of the show. So
no,
you should have reminded me.
Yes, there's no safety warning on tonight's show.
What I need to get you to do, Shell, is actually on the show put a little thing along us a thing. Put on your seatbelts.
Yeah. Everyone else has trigger warning on their shows.
We just have put on your seatbelt. Yeah, Kerry, I don't know what I've got in my head. You know what it is? Because I'm not working. That's what it is, because I'm not at work and I'm out of work mode. So I've just oh, I keep thinking it's the following Saturday.
I think Lee wants you to
Drummond, Captain, hope you were paying attention. We'll still be sharing the Mega Ball event that's happening at Lee Manor Recreation Centre. I think it's 1 till 6 p.m. And you're like, oh, I don't do exercise, I don't do stuff like that. You don't have to. Still support the cause, and you can just boogie on down to Lee. And I don't know if there's anybody else playing the music. And obviously, if you want to participate in any of the, the events that have got the different guys doing, you can do that also as well. But it's all for a really good cause and supporting prostate cancer, and an opportunity to link up with Michael Wallace. So I think, Shell, I know, Lee. If I can get granddaughter sorted, I'll let you know before Friday. I'm going to come regardless. Ideally, I'd like to be able to sort of like, give it a go, have a laugh. Because you would be laughing if I fall off that bloody thing. I'll kill myself. Have you seen it, Shell? Jesus Christ. But anyway, Lee, thank you so much for watching. And that young man does amazing work throughout the community also as well. So we are out of here. I need to get some ginger wine. And we'll see you guys really, really soon. Please, 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 even if you didn't watch the show, or if you're watching the show, still continue to share the show, because there are so many messages on there. All right, God bless, and we will see you soon.